eating more food to benefit off the calories. You know, you also have to
Training
spend
yourself.
one ration for melee attacks, etc. You know, but outside of that, that's the only things you spend rations for. You can also spend rations to give yourself a further +1 to the roll. So you could, for example, Ty could spend one additional ration to have a 3 in his unarmed for one attack to really lay into somebody. That's why. What is it? It's I think it's the charged quality. Let's see. Yeah, charged. The charged quality. Any gear that has the charged quality, you can spend additional charges to give yourself a further +1 to the roll. So, you know, most of the guns have that. So if you're really, really worried that you may mess up, you can spend additional charges to boost your roll. Next thing's up. Yeah. You spend one refresh. You can fully restore all the charges to one of your pieces of gear. So, you know, you could fully restore all your rations because in your backpack, you have more rations. For Ty, you have a little bit more upkeep because for every leg you guys take, your Dronky uses one charge, which represents the fact that it, you know, has a battery. And it's using that battery to follow you guys. But on the plus side, you know, that's it. It just uses that one charge. But it comes with all its other benefits, you know. The fact that it doesn't make noise, so it doesn't attract zombies. And it has a shotgun, in case you need a shotgun. And in the case of everybody else, yeah. Let's see. Anything else? Yes. Is there anything else that should be noted? I think we're all good. You got UVIC specs. Jimpan's got a laptop. Right. So, this is the first session, so none of you really have stress, but you can still do life events to start establishing things about your character and their relationship with your dependents.
Okay.
Question: do takers have to leave the enclave all the time, or can they kind of stay at the enclave most of the
time? Basically, every job is meant to be one every week or one every one every half week. So
okay.
You're generally trying to set up a score. Then you're using because one bounty represents enough rent and enough food to basically support yourself for 1 week.
Got it.
So that's one of the things is you're also using that time to rest and recover. That's also basically waiting for your upkeeps to come in. You're paying the money upkeep to
Got it.
Get the.
Well, I'm more referring to does my dependent Jeannie, does she have to go out and do missions and shit like that every week?
She may also not because it depends on what's going on.
I'm paying for her partially.
Yeah, so she's going to be probably once every other week rather than once a week.
Got it. And I will say this: she's probably doing lower risk jobs, convoy protection of the well-traveled routes, things like that.
Yeah. Yep. So since this is your first week, technically, and first session, you guys could, easily do double work without any effects, because you don't have any stress that needs to be healed. Work includes the following things. Hiring employees is useful for if you are trying to sell something. Oh, we have this good that we need to sell. We randomly found something that's not easily tradable, but somebody could want.
So we could basically hire a middleman merchant who will hold on to it for us and sell it for us for a certain price, and he'll take a cut. Yeah,
which is how you get investment. Basically, investment is that's one of the ways to do an investment. Pursue an investment is also, hey, let's look for something that we can invest money in. Such as this guy's trying to get milk to the enclave, or trying to set up a garden on the enclave, so he needs investors.
And we can get return on investment.
Yes. You get bigger return the more you put into it. Then there's insider trading, which is basically bolstering your investment so you can make more money off it. Another work thing is fulfilling one of your milestones to retire.
Mhm.
Or you can sell gear that you guys have gotten that you're not going to use.
Like we came across a couple extra assault rifles, and we are
pistols.
all well armed. Whatever.
Troubleshooting is basically something's happened with your your employee or something that needs to be dealt with. Manipulating the supply / demand of a good so you can make it so something's more expensive. That's all the stuff that you get after you guys are aware of what jobs are available. So then, first things first, everybody make a networking check, which we get to do. So first up, you roll a d10 plus whatever your networking skill value is.
Plus charisma?
No, networking skill value. No
So
charisma.
no charisma.
Your charisma determines your cap of what your skill can be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You have ways of. There are certain things that you add your.
I rolled a 4. That's probably not good.
Well, then you roll another d10.
I rolled a 2.
So see, roll a second d10.
Oh, okay.
So
I beat it.
Critical success.
Woohoo!
2 and 2. Kiri, roll another d10. If you get a 2 or a 1, you'll pass. You do not. So, well, you're trying to network. So, yeah. The other way you could do this is roll 2d10, like so.
And just mentally add your number because they're pretty small.
To the first one.
Yeah.
So, for example, in that case, that 3 and 7. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So Ty can't pass. He can critically fail. Go Ty.
Come on, Ty. Come on, Ty. Don't fail. Don't fail hard. Don't fail hardcore.
Come on, Ty. Roll another d10. Let's see if you crit fail. Go Ty. Go Ty. I believe in you. And Jim Pan. Hey, Ty's fine. He just fails normally.
Yeah, just fails normally. And Jim Pan, you got to roll another d10.
Yep.
So from 1 to 10, that's
well, it's 1 over 10.
So Jim Pan also succeeds, but I critically succeeded. So
yeah. So you guys get 2 pieces of info for the crit success and 1 piece of info for the normal success. So here's where we come to. So Seawall, you could either learn the supply and demand of one of the things that your enclave needs. You could also scout out a job. So you could learn, like, oh, this is paying really well. Or you could look for a job, like, oh, somebody has a job. And because of your critical success, you could learn the supply demand cost of 2 items from your enclave. So, you could learn the price of both food and fuel, or, food and wood, or fuel and wood.
okay, guys, I'm thinking I find out about the supply and demand of 2 of our important resources, and then we'll have Jim Pan try to find us a job related to that. Can we do that?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to point out, if you guys are doing that, that's not going to be you're finding a job. That's, you guys are looking to find, a place to get that supplies from. You're setting up your own job.
Okay, so we're setting up our own job. So we're basically got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're hunting the materials.
Yeah, you're basically like, oh yeah, this place has got a bunch of wood, or you're going to the Luddites because they have a bunch of wood.
And they fucking hate us. Okay, I'm gonna look up the. I'm definitely want to look up how's the supply and demand of food right now.
Okay, and food. What another one? Food and what? Fuel or lumber?
I would like to know what food is first, or do I have to decide?
You get 2 of them.
But do I have to choose the second one right now, or can I find out then decide what I want to do with the second one?
Yeah, you can. You can find out. I'll make the stone bowl prices visible. And Jim Pan technically could give you the third one.
Yeah, true.
So, rather than finding a job, you are basically all going in
Okay.
on a take.
Got it.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so supply and demand are almost perfectly in line, so there's probably not a big profit margin. There's a slight, but not a big.
Well, keep in mind that you combine supply and demand together for, the total value of haul for one thing. So, how you figure out how much you'll make off a job like this is you look at each of your characters' hauls. So you have a haul of, let's see, Ty has a haul of 2, and his drone gives him 4 more haul. So he's able to haul in 6.
I can haul in 2.
Yeah, so that's 8. And then, Kiri, what's your strength?
My strength is 2.
Okay, so you're at 10. And then Jim Pan's strength will make it at least 11. So you would take 11, that number, plus the supply.
Wait, Jim Pan,
plus,
you're at 2 strength?
1.
No,
Oh, so
11.
11. Yeah, 11.
Yeah. So you would take that 11, and then you'd multiply it by the supply plus demand, which is also 11. So you'd make 121, bounty off of delivering food to the Enclave.
And that's is that the profit margin?
No, that's how much total money you would bring in. And then you'd subtract your, upkeep and stuff. So you would take all your upkeeps, put them together, and that would give you your profit margin.
Sorry, I'm more talking about what does it cost us to get that amount of food in the first place? Where do we get it from?
Nothing.
I think that's
You just
assuming
have
we.
to-
Okay.
It's doing something like, raiding an old,
Raiding an
Pickle
old
factory.
military base. Yeah.
Or-
yeah. Okay, understand.
or other rations.
Okay.
Something.
I might as well check up what the fuel prices are like right now.
Okay, so you're going to learn fuel prices?
Yep.
Okay. Currently, fuel is not in a very big supply, or the...
So it's only a 9.
So you'd make 99 bounty off it. The supply and demand will change, between sessions. But the thing is, you also can use your work actions, because remember, this is just basically you guys looking for jobs. And then you can do your actual work actions to, you can make it so there's a more need of a supply or more need of demand.
Got it. And Jim Pan, do you want to burn your information to find out the supply of what our lumber is like, or do you want to look for a job? So we have multiple options, so we can diversify our choices.
Yeah, I can look for lumber. Wood's a number.
I
What
guess.
do you think? Oh,
Okay, so Jim Pan,
yeah.
do you want to look? Do you want to find a job, or do you want to figure out what the cost of wood is right now?
Hmm.
Jim Pan. Jim Pan. Jim Pan's dead.
Jim and Pan.
I'm just gonna say that Jim Pan gives you the wood cost.
Yeah.
Got
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
Oof, that's high.
Yes.
That's 16 times 11.
Yep. It's a
You got-
lot.
You guys want to go on a wood run? And
Yeah.
you said we also have work actions where we could increase the supply and demand.
Yeah. So now since you guys have done your networking actions and there's no more networking things that can happen, we now look at work-life balance. So this is the first session, so you can easily sack your life event to do a double work event. Now, first up, you guys can look for. You guys can do manipulating supply and demand of a good. So, see, well, you could look into increasing the demand.
I.e., convincing someone to start a big construction project.
Yeah, that's one way. Supply, you could also just buy up some of the wood yourself. or convince somebody else to buy up some of the wood. That oh yeah, it will go up in price if you buy it up right now. You're gonna have to find somebody that's willing to shoulder the cost of buying said wood, but yeah, that's one of the ways you could do it as well.
I think it might be easier right now, guys, if we just increase the demand because we don't have a lot of money to fuck with the supply. Yeah.
There's also, of course, burning the supply.
Yeah, that's something not yet.
No.
Okay.
We're not that evil. It's just
Okay.
easier to convince a couple of guys, convince convince one of the merchants to do a big expansion to their warehouse or something that's going to require a lot.
Who's the merchant? Seawall, who are you talking to?
Well, I am the fucking face, so I guess I'm going to have to be the one to do this.
Well, yes, you're also the one that first said it, so you're the first person up. So you're doing demand stuff because we're doing work events first.
I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go to since I've got decent networking. I'll go to the. Yeah, I'll go. I might actually go to the merchant that told me about the food and fuel situation, and just kind of just try to chat him up. Let's call him.
Call him.
I'm just gonna. His name is Schmitty. He's gonna be our go-to merchant. You guys all agree? Schmitty is the go-to merchant.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Schmitty's kind of warehouse and shop on the mid.
All right. I guess I can go back to our shop and just try and collect some supplies that we'll probably need.
Yeah,
I'm going. I'm
Schmidt's Food Emporium.
Yeah.
Hey, is it back already, Willie boy?
We have been working with my team. May have come across an interesting situation in the.
Oh, Willie boy's got a proposition for me.
Well, I know you've been planning on doing an expansion to your to this place. Get a bit more space. We can get some more food.
Oh yeah, I have.
I might have a line on. What the lumber situation's like.
Oh, costs going down then, eh?
Costs going up.
Ooh, that's
So you may want to buy now.
Buy now.
Buy now and start the work.
You know what, Willie boy? Willie boy. I can see about doing that. Get it now while it's a bit cheaper, but it's still pretty costly. Willie boy, if I do this for you, I need you to do something for me.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I've been thinking about something. Our enclave, we're decent on food because of trade. We were able to trade up with a lot of things, but I think we could really utilize some mini farms. We got certain areas where we could set up some hydroponics, some mushrooms, etc.
Some greenhouses on the on some of the unused upper parts of the stairs.
Yeah, there you go, Willie boy. So if you
would also increase the demand. That would also increase. I'm just kind of thinking in my own head. This is going to increase the demand for wood because you got to build it out of something.
Exactly, Willie boy. So I get up some of that wood right now. You and your friends invest to help me get the supplies I need.
Do you want it up front or?
I'll give you after you've gotten your investment that you're working on right now.
How much? How much you want us to invest?
Whatever you're willing, but it has to, at least break bank, as it were. So in total, he wants each of you to invest at least 2 bounty.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like the entire group invest like 20 or 30 of the bounty we make from
that's a total of 8.
Yeah.
I mean, that 8
Yeah.
is still a lot considering that's enough to
But we're dealing with 11 times 16
Yeah.
for the wood job.
Yeah. Well, I'm just giving you what the minimum is. You're going to but Schmitty will
100. We can get 198 out of this job. I think we can easily invest a lot more.
Yeah.
Schmitty will buy some stuff which will make it so that the
Demand is higher.
Yeah, or the supply is higher. You'll find out in a second. In exchange, after everything is done, you guys are going to have to take some of your payment, and you're going to be investing in his thing. Speaking of which,
before we make a full agreement, mind if I talk to my team, make sure they're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with that, Willie.
It shouldn't be more than maybe 30 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So also, Sewell, you can make me a sensitivity check.
I am also going to use 1 charge of my glasses to increase it by 2.
So you just go over to your glasses and you click the little tab down thing by charge.
So there we go. Yep.
There you go. And that will give you another +2 to your charge, to your roll. So you'll be rolling with a nice +3, actually.
Oh. Fuckered that one up. Even with a +3, I still lose.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That just means you don't know what the risk is going in. So,
of this. Well, look, we've got a good payday. We've got a good potential payday coming. We only have to invest about 8 bounty in it, and that's not a lot from the payday. And I'm thinking we invest a little bit more and play a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you guys can make your money in. Schmitty will...
well, I've got to talk to the team before I agree to this. So nothing has gone forward yet.
Yeah, it won't go forward until the rest of the group all agrees to put in some bounty.
Yeah.
So that will be your work event, and coming back to Schmitty will be a second work event because you're basically negotiating with him, and that will let the others all roll their sensitivity.
Okay, got it.
Which means that potentially all of you will one of you will find the risk. So Jimpan, Kiri, and Ty, you can all roll sensitivity checks. Sensitivity, Ty, roll.
The hell?
You can do the just 2d10.
Yeah, guys, just roll the 2Ds and just do the math in your head. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
So I rolled a 10 total then.
It's 4 over 6.
Yeah, 4 over 6.
Remember, your first number you want it to be higher than your second number. That's the mechanic.
Oh, so first number has to be higher than the second. So in that case, no.
Yeah, because that's the entire idea. That's why the dice that
Jimpan succeeded. Oh, and Ty critically failed.
You're like, this is a good investment. Blue is 100% aboard. He's 100% aboard investing. Jimpan rolled a success. So yeah, actually, you guys are aware of the risk. Food Emporium. Let's see how many. Ooh, that's actually kind of funny. Liquidity and risk. So if you guys look at investments, you can now see liquidity is how many sessions until it pays off. So, so the thing is, next session it won't pay off, but the session after next, because one whole session has to pass. So, and it's got a risk of 4, meaning that, actually that's really good for you guys.
So it's a fairly moderate to low risk investment?
It's a low risk investment because without any modifiers, he only doesn't make money back, 30% of the time.
Okay, so otherwise we break even.
Yeah. What it is if he passes the check, which is just he rolls a straight D10, plus any insider trading you guys do next session, If he passes, you guys make back your money and more. You make back 50% more. So you can make a lot of money. If he fails, you lose 50% because, it didn't turn enough of a profit.
And is this going to be a constant thing, or is it just a one-time?
It's a one-time thing. It's him basically paying you back for stuff.
Got it. Understood.
Yeah. In the case of it not coming back, it basically means, turns out nobody was really interested in buying mushrooms right now.
Understood. I think it's worth the risk, guys. I think we should put up a decent amount from our We only need to put in, and I'll just say the equivalent of 8. We only got to put 8 bounty into a minimum. We can kind of decide how much of the haul we want to dedicate to it after we figure out how much we got when we get back.
I assume by 8 bounty you mean like between all of us and not 8 each, right?
8 total, 2 each.
Okay.
So it's actually a very low investment with, though not a high rate of return, a kind of a moderate to low risk, based on what Jim Pan is telling us. And it should return on investment pretty quick. So it's not going to be a lot of money tied up. Worst case scenario, we lose a little bit.
This is very concerning. I still like it, but it's very concerning.
Look, it's not. I don't think it's a lot of money to have to pony up. In exchange, we can potentially get a higher price for the wood we do get a hold of. We in agreement to have this little side deal with Schmidt? He hasn't turned us wrong so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
I hesitantly put forth my 2 bounty.
No, we pay him after. We pay him
after.
we pay him after the job. And I'm saying we just, based on how much we can get from the wood, that's when we pay him. So we decide at the end. We decide at the end how much we're going to invest.
Oh, good.
Not at the beginning. So this is basically, he's investing in us. In exchange, we'll invest in him.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess, guys, get your gear out.
Well, I've got to go back to Schmitty and let him know we're interested.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. So you can now make me a persuasion check.
Any bonuses or negatives?
Just your persuasion. This just determines how much he's going to increase everything by.
Okay. Got it,
crit
Schmitty.
failure means it didn't change enough.
So I'll go back to Schmitty to sit down, and I guess he's got a counter or something. I'll sit down at the counter and say, "Okay, Schmitty, we're definitely interested."
He's rubbing down a bar glass.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. Yep. I got a basic success.
So Schmitty will, since Schmitty's buying up things, that's going to increase the supply number because there's less around for everyone else.
Got it. I forgot that the supply, the lower the number, the more the supply, the higher the demand, the more it's wanted. So he's eating up supply and demand.
Yeah.
Now
then, so that's your 2 actions. You invested in Schmitty,
Yep.
or rather going to.
Yep. In exchange, he's effectively investing in us.
Yeah. And you guys, which is important. Yay. Now that you guys could increase demand. Okay, so here's where we get to the fun thing. So you guys can't, invest in your investment with Schmitty yet, and not until next session when he's officially gone public with it. But what you guys can do, because you all have 2 actions except for Will.
Yeah, I was the one who set up the deal.
Yeah, because you did your 2 actions. Jim Penn, you could look for another investment for later on. See if there's an investment around. You could also try and manipulate the demand. So could Ty, so could Kiri. Manipulating demand would basically be puffing up the fact that everybody needs lumber. Everybody needs lumber.
They do.
Okay, so Kiri, do you want to try and do that? Do you want to puff up people about how they need lumber?
All right. And that would be what check?
Well, I mean, what's your tact? How are you going to get everybody to want to buy some wood?
Force
buy
it.
wood.
Okay. Okay. Well, word on the street is apparently there might be some kind of big project coming along. Needs a lot of wood. So
That'll actually get people to go out and get wood. You're wanting to tell people to build.
what?
You want to convince people to buy wood.
You need to say that there's probably gonna be a surplus. There's like a surplus. You're gonna say like, hey, there's a surplus of wood, or it's a good time to build. You don't want to say that there is going to be a big project because that'll people go, hey, I better go out and scavenge wood, which means we get competition. We're trying to avoid that.
All right.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, you want to bolster, the want to have wood. Okay.
Can't really think of a good way to do that.
Give me a foresight check. Oh, crit success. Okay. Well, you playing to the fact that the latent community, wherever they're set up in the stadium, requires, it's not the best place in town. You can play to it by pointing out, hey guys, you guys really need this to help, make the latent community even better, because the latent community is the worst side of town. They're
the closest to the tunnels of all the groups. They're the closest to the tunnels, i.e., the industrial sector.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, you're playing off that. To play off that, and yeah. So that's what you're doing for your first work action, Kiri, is you're spending your time. Because I'm just going to say with your crit success, you know what to do. You basically pour in the right amount of chutzpah about, hey, and you're going to increase the demand by 1. So, everything's getting together. Now then, Kiri, you can either do another work action or you could do a life action.
I think I'll do a life action.
Okay. So, Kiri, who's playing Jessica?
Who is she?
No, who's playing Jessica? And then you get to tell that person who Jessica is. Is Jim Pan playing Jessica? Is Seawall playing Jessica? Is Ty playing Jessica?
I don't think I'll be convincing enough as a Jessica. No offense.
Seawall, you think you could play a Jessica?
Would need to know the personality type.
That's where he then tells you what they are. Yeah.
All right. She's basically Jimbo's younger sister by about 2 years. She, that technically would still make her a latent, or no.
No, she's not necessarily a latent.
She's not a latent though. So that makes her life a little bit easier than his. Personality-wise, though, she does love her brother, and at the same time, because she's younger, she can't exactly get a whole lot of work in outside of like safe jobs in town. So not exactly a whole lot of big ones. So,
i.e., assisting in inventory, assisting the convoys get ready, things of that nature,
stuff like that.
Courier stuff. Yeah.
You said a courier fixing. You said courier and inventory. Yeah, basically kind of menial work that is safe inside.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what every dependent basically does when they're, being independent, more or less. Now then, so Kiri, are you doing a coping event, a support event, or a engage event?
What exactly would be an engaging event?
Engage is basically you and Jessica are doing something that establishes the detail about the Enclave, such as maybe there's an arcade, or there's a little restaurant that's been set up. It's establishing a detail about the Enclave, or maybe that they've set up a small soccer field, and some portion of it because they have room for it. Things like that.
It's like maybe some establishment. We can head towards what's the part? Which part? Which of these notes is the one I want? Which is the one that has about what each part of the city is?
Enclave Stone Bowl.
There we go. We'll basically be like having like some lunch down in the marketplace town square area in Midfield.
Okay, so you're having lunch down there. So there's a restaurant. Okay. So
Put it as a subset of Midfield.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What are you eating?
Eating primarily like a very, very light meat dish. Like very little meat, but it's mostly like a lot more of like vegetables and fruits and stuff that can be easily grown, but with some meat here and there.
Okay. Okay, so yes. So Jessica, you're having one of those fancy marketplace salads. You know, it's an actual salad with a bit of grilled chicken brought in from, out of the Stone Bowl district, with actual like leafy greens and some fruit, including some slices of tomato.
Wow, big bro, when did you get all splurgy? Is there a job that you've done that you didn't tell me about?
Yeah, this Jimbo basically takes the mask off. Yeah, got a job. It's gonna probably pay pretty well. Figures splurge a little.
Yeah. Hey, if you need an extra hand, I've gotten a lot of practice carrying things around.
Well, once we get back, you could probably help out Schmitty with some stuff there, because it could be quite good.
Come on, I've been cooped up here for months.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, look at me compared to you. I'm kind of one of the lucky ones out there. Believe me, I don't want you to have to deal with this shit.
Fine.
I care deeply about you, sis. I don't want you to get hurt if I can avoid it. I know this may sound patronizing and stuff, but you're basically all I got left as far as family goes. Don't want to lose that.
Yeah, true.
Think of it this way. In a couple of years, you'll probably be starting to head out doing some jobs. So, in those few years, I could probably give you like some tips here and there. Maybe some, close walks outside. Get a feel for what's out there. Ain't nothing too dangerous, at least not yet.
Hey, I'm not planning on joining the Black Mass or anything. Those guys are crazy.
I mean, fuck for that. These guys give me the heebie-jeebies. And I don't think they know.
Doom, doom, doom.
I don't think they know the condition. Is that just like some Black Mask guys just walking by?
Yes. Doom, doom. They're hitting a bell.
I have my head turned and my hood is covering my face, so they really can't see me.
I just pay attention and I just focus on my shotgun right now.
You're not there.
Oh, never mind.
Well, that's just what he's doing at wherever he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just had like a little scene break. This is what this guy's doing.
Yeah.
So that's my shotgun.
Yeah.
Fine. Just don't do anything stupid while you're out there.
To be fair, you've seen the company I keep, right?
Well, you got a drone. You got a drone pilot with you, so
Yeah.
and a drone. So
That reduces some of the potential stupidity we might be dealing with.
let's see. And isn't Jim Pan playing a sniper? A crack?
Jim Pan is technically a sniper, yes.
Yes.
Let me just double check what Jim Pan's character's name is. Apparently, it's a Jim Pan. What?
No, it's Sven.
Oh, Sven. And Sven is a damn good shot, so
Mhm.
I'm not too worried about that. It should I worry about you, doing something stupid, trying to be the big damn hero.
Oh, believe me, I know I'm not the big damn hero. I mean, look at this. Like, he then tries flexing his arm, and it's not a noodle arm, but it's actually very heavily muscular.
Yeah.
He flexes his arm, and his arm kind of puffs up with the black veins and some
It's still
pus.
covered in a cloak.
I'm saying underneath it, you can feel the black veins puffing up as you try and flex, and a bit of pus squirts into your arm. Your clothing gets a bit wet where some of the blight vein pus comes out. You're gonna have to bleach that shirt again.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, as you're doing this, you can see Red is very
Don't know much about
carefully
that Will
taking
guy,
your forks and your plates, and he's bleaching them.
What did you say?
Well, I was saying, and that Will guy, he seemed, I don't know too much about him, but he seems dependable.
Yeah. And what were you saying, Diplo?
The restaurant owner is bleaching the stuff that you've touched after you're done with it.
Okay.
Because
even though I'm basically dressed as like a plague doctor or
yeah,
like
it's still safe.
Adeptus Mechanicus priest.
Yeah.
Also, bleach for some reason kills the blight. Nobody's entirely sure why. They just know it does work. So
Well, bleach kind of kills everything.
yeah, I
It's
know.
chlorine.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like
It's forgotten knowledge.
Bleach affects the blight. So yeah, and that's where we end. Is you're saying I'm not a hero, I'm just a guy in the job. As it cuts over to one of the most tolerant restaurant owners in the city bleaching your stuff.
I'm sure he's at least happy that I'm nice and fully clothed, so that way nothing drips.
I mean, it doesn't happen very often. That's why I just wanted to make the joke about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't bleed on people.
Why do you think I dress up so heavily?
Okay. So now, Jim Pan, are you able to talk?
Yeah.
Jim Pan's still dead.
What?
Jim Pan rolls, but he's not saying anything. Jim Pan. Okay.
Hello.
So as I was going to say, so the thing is that makes a score like this really fun is a lot of things. Now then, Ty, you could see about getting an employee to help sell your stuff. The wood you're going to be bringing in. You could also pursue another investment. You could see about doing some other stuff, some troubleshooting to make sure that you're able to keep selling your wood.
Maybe
Uh,
I do some troubleshooting after all, to make sure that everything is safe or we not get screwed in any way. Especially, yeah.
okay. So, let's see. Troubleshooting, as always, the most fun thing ever. The most fun because it's not like anything can go wrong. Okay. So let's see. What's the trouble that could potentially? Shoot. Okay. So, you're aware right now that, you're going to be trying to sell this wood. You're going to obviously need to. Your troubleshooting is going to give you, as you're scouting out, this is the automatic thing that you get. You're going to need to hire an employee to help you sell it. So this is where we get to a fun thing. So a score where you gather up goods like this and you haul it back, you can only sell up to a certain number of units per session. This represents basically, people actually buying it, the supply and demand. Having employees means they're able to sell more units. So you guys can get 11 units, and each employee basically multiplies how much you can sell. It's a volatile good because it's 9 and 9, so you can sell 3 units easily. And you also have somebody that will basically buy those units that you know about, i.e., everybody's favorite Schmitty. So, you can get 5 of your 11 units sold. Half of it up front. The other half will basically, have to be divvied up over the next few sessions as people buy it.
Diplo, out of curiosity, with could we basically do the investment as giving him a couple of those units?
That's what I was implying. Yes.
Okay, got it. So we can get basically the investment is we give him some of the wood so that. Got it. So that's basically we're taking a couple of units off the table, whatever the equivalent is in market value right now.
Yeah, pretty much. That would basically what you do is you give him some of the wood, and he's like, "Wow, that means I don't have to buy as much." And yeah, so Ty, you know that if you're going to get any employees with the current supply and demand, you're going to have to deal with people wanting raises, etc., to sell it. So there's the you know that if you want to sell more of it, you're gonna have to hire an employee for one. But two, the if you do hire an employee, they're going to be trying to get some raises out of you. So you know basically the current economic standard is going to hit you hard, or not so much. So yeah, mechanically, yeah. So employees have, how much bounty you basically have to pay them. So you lose some of the bounty for the item. Just a little bit representing the fact that you're
pretty much paying them on commission.
Yeah, that you're paying them to sell the wood, which means you get to sell more. In this case, you'll be able to sell 3 more units.
So for sure we can hawk 5 units without having to put any extra expense into it.
Yeah, pretty much. You can sell 5 units immediately. And
do you guys? I'm thinking maybe we get 1 employee to sell another 3, then we'll keep the last 3 in reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I shall name you Winston because I just saw the Ghostbusters movie.
You can, since you're doing that, your troubleshooting gave you that. Roll me a sensitivity check, Ty.
Oh boy, this is
so roll 2d6.
TD10.
2d10, sorry.
And not D6. Roll your 2d10. Roll your sensitivity. Ty.
Oh!
Yay, Ty, you actually did it. Yay.
Critical success. Nice.
Okay, so Ty, you set yourself up for the interview process. You know you're going to have to do some raising and stuff. Roll me a persuasion check. So you're in charge of the HR department for this job this time. So there you go. So hey, you didn't fail, so you don't get a meth addicted transient. That's the example. I love it. What it is they put the example is failure. You get a person that's addicted to meth who travels around. Crit failure. That meth addicted transient is wearing a pantsuit, so they look like they're respectable. I love the examples in this book.
Just tip your head and go.
Why
did I hire this dude?
So you got a crit success. So you find Will. Will has got the most obvious weapon ever. He's got himself his own katana. He's kind of wants to be a taker, but he's not really doing much yet. Will since he's good at selling things, he'll make his roll, and that will determine how much of a cut of the lumber he takes from you guys. Based, but as he's talking to you, he's like, man, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to, hey, so you're my new boss, right?
Yeah.
Blue.
I guess.
You want me to get you some wood and stuff. Make a good deal for you.
Well, that's the idea of it. What are you thinking?
Well, I think I can push this over the top. Just with this market, I can easily get you 3 units out the door pretty easily.
All right,
So,
I'm interested.
okay, so I can guarantee you 3 units, but I'm going to want a bigger cut than I'm normally getting. Normally, I would take 2 bounty of the cost for trading. I want 4.
And is this per unit he's selling, or is
Yeah,
it
he
for
gets
the whole
4 of the bounty. So
per unit of sold?
Yeah, 4 of them. So it would go from basically you get 18 to 14 for those 3 units because that's his cut.
Per unit, 14 per unit.
Yeah.
Do you guys? You'd have to go to us to ask us. So you'd have to make the decision yourself or go to us.
He has to make the decision himself. Guys, I'm trying to talk here. Ty, you have to make the decision yourself. You're better. You're doing the work by yourself. You have to make the choice about this. You can't call on the others.
Maybe negotiate on 3 and maybe see how you do.
3, that's pushing it, man. It's real pushing it. If we're gonna do 3,
Well, if we want the,
I'll do 3 on one condition.
What is it?
If I get all the units out the door in a timely manner, it goes up to 5.
In a timely manner, huh?
I can guarantee I can get all 3 out in a week.
We shall see.
Is that a deal then?
So he can do 3 for sure, and we don't have to pay him 3 per unit. But if he can sell the entire lot that we can't sell ourselves, he gets 5.
No, basically, he's basically if he's going to roll in a secret a GM check, which will, based on what Ty got for the crit success, means that Will here has a +3 to his roll. If Will fails, if he crit fails, then he somehow failed to sell any units. If he just fails, he only sells 1. If he succeeds, he sells all 3. If he crit succeeds, then he's able to sell potentially more units. And that's what he's offering. If he succeeds, he gets 5, but if he fails, he only gets,
per
3.
unit. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, if he crit succeeds, then he can potentially sell a 4th unit.
I see.
So that's what he's basically offering is, if I pass the check, mechanically, that's what he's offering. And that's the thing is Ty has to make that deal. And you guys won't know until, I start giving you guys the value of everything you turned in, if he passed or failed. So what do you say, Blues?
All right, if you could sell units fast, that means we can bring them in fast. So, you got yourself a deal.
Okay.
So we
could potentially bring in more money as well.
In the short term, yeah.
Yep. So I'm going to secretly roll what he gets. Let's see. He's got a +3 to this, by the by, because Ty got that crit sensitivity check. Nice.
Yep.
So yeah, you guys won't know till the session if he actually passed, crit passed, failed, or crit failed. But there you go. So that's what Ty is doing. Ty, do you want to do a life event with Reggie?
Let me just call my brother on the phone.
Well, he lives in the Enclave, Ty.
Oh, okay.
You're not bait, Ty.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you have to be bait for your family to not live in the Lost. I mean, technically, there's another way with stewards, but stewards don't have to, don't have to give their family money because their families, well off because some of them are working in the recession. And I've added to the VIPs William the Ninja Negotiator.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Hey, little brother.
Okay.
What
Who's
you doing?
playing your little brother?
Pretty much.
No,
Pretty much
who?
just.
Who? Seawall or Kiri or Jimpan? He is a dependent. Another player plays him.
All right. Well, who wants to play something who's just breaking into puberty right now?
Puberty boy. Well, I think I know exactly where this is going. This is going to be a support event. Who's willing to play a kid that's confused about puberty?
Okay.
And it's starting to feel attracted to girls.
Actually, I would raise his age about 6. Okay, raise his age to about 13.
Yeah, still, I'm still making that joke.
I know.
But who wants to play a 13-year-old? Keep in mind, this is just for this scene, which is actually the fun thing is that it can keep being. So let's say, for example, with Kiri, it can keep being Seawall that does Jessica.
Yep.
Or someone else can play Jessica for a scene. So it's up to Kiri each time that he does a scene with Jessica, who plays Jessica. So who wants to be Reggie? I.e., Ty, pick who you want to be Reggie.
Any volunteers?
Sure, I'll do it. Anything else I need to know?
I guess not. Hey, little brother. What you
Hey,
doing?
big bro, how are you?
Fine. Just trying to survive this whole mess.
Yeah. Hey, did you know that there's actually a small hole in the fence that actually lets me see some really cute girls?
It's
Pistol whip him. Pistol whip him.
no. So it's So you're going to that age, huh?
It's not exactly a whole lot to do around here otherwise.
Just respect the women, okay? Because you want to go out with one of these cute girls, right? One day.
Yep.
All right, so just respect the women and be gentlemanly, unlike your big brother, and
Just be the opposite of you.
pretty much. And one day you find a nice wife, unlike the opposite of me.
And that's where the scene ends.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Because remember, the weakness is booze and women, so
As he somehow makes everything worse. Well, that means next time we do a scene with Reggie, the person that plays Reggie gets to decide did he take his brother's advice into account or not.
Or is he showing up with a black eye?
Did he show up with another guy, or did he, just become exactly like his brother? Anyways, you guys are finishing up life events. You're spending time with family or your other dependents. Now then, it's you guys know where you're going to be able to get lumber. There's, there's the obvious place of heading over and getting wood, i.e., trees, etc. There's more importantly, to the south, there's a pallets factory, or rather, there's some pallets down there that were used for storing other things, and that never got used, so you could basically drag them out. A shit ton of pallets. Pallets, 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 and other lumber from a Home Depot. It's been weathered and it's good. Let's say this is a 4-leg journey. So 4 legs there. Now then, when do you guys want to do your interlude? Do you want to do your interlude immediately, as the gates to the football stadium are opened and the noise of the enclave fades away as you step out? The air is cool and crisp, a bit dry. It's not getting wet just yet. And you can hear the distant hum of the wind. Outside of the football stadium, which, dampens all that sound, it's quiet out on the Lost. You can hear a gunshot for miles because, well, there's not noise pollution anymore. Everything is, just quiet. Casualties don't make noise after all.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure my suppressor is nice and securely attached.
Yeah. By the by, casualties, the zombies don't make noise. That's how you can tell they're different from vectors. Casualties only make the noise of their jaws clicking as they rush you.
Okay.
Because that's them trying to bite you.
Yep.
I'm making sure my shotgun is well armed and
Alright. Now, before we head out, I'd like to do a foresight check to make sure that we did bring up the stuff that we need and we didn't forget any.
Oh, no, you have it. You're good. Anyways, yeah, you guys are heading south towards your pallet stop.
Yep.
I'll mark it on the map. Let's give it a nice little...
So we need to each burn 8 rations by the end of this because it's 4 legs each way, or 4 legs total?
4 legs total. You
okay,
only...
2 there, 2 back.
Well, no, it's technically it's 4 there, and then you retrace your steps back. And therefore you don't have to pay for the legs back. So it can also represent, 2 legs there, 2 legs back.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it represents, the hardship of getting the job done. Legs are, meant to be, they can be, just delivering something to X location. So, that's it. Once you get there, you just take the trail back, and since you don't have any supplies with you, there's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. Other times it could be, we're trying to deliver the supplies to this other settlement, like the Luddites. And once you get there, turns out they also actually have a supply thing that they need you to send back. And thus, it's 2 legs there, 2 legs back, but you get a bonus. Things can be thrown in that change up the, little details there.
Yeah.
Because, you could be getting it could be 4 legs there because you have to clear a way to drag all the wood back.
Yep.
That could represent the 4 legs. And then it's, just a straight shot home. So, and, you're not going to be shooting anything, so you don't have to worry about anything on the way back because you're just following the path you took.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys are good. Everybody.
I say the interlude should be us collecting the pallets. What do you guys think?
Well, no, the interlude won't be collecting the pallets. That will be the actual job site.
Okay, got it. So
yeah, the interlude will be one of you can say or talk about something and to someone else, and the other person responds. It's 2 of you role playing and interconnecting beyond the normal. And if you want, you can have a random roll to determine what you're talking about and how the other one of you responds. But yeah, the question I'm asking is, when do you want to do the interlude? You could do it immediately.
Be right back. Just getting a quick call.
Yeah, you can do it on any of the legs. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. So which leg do you want to do the interlude?
My vote is 3rd leg.
Okay, 3rd leg is interlude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Right then. So Ty, make me an awareness check. Okay. Don't you have a bonus to your awareness?
Yeah, about to say plus the 5.
Yeah.
Plus the 3.
Yeah, so that's 5 over 3, so that's a success. As you guys are continuing down on the leg, you see a In a backyard of house area, a campfire's been set up. And near that campfire is a lone older woman as you're scouting ahead. And she seems to be cooking some large animal. Based on the fact there's a bunch of meat around, she's got some coal set up on the campfire in a big pot, and she's cooking something.
Okay.
But yeah, you've noticed her. You can approach or you cannot.
I'll leave this up to the faceman of the group.
Yeah. Will, Blues is looking to you. He's pointed out an older woman who seems to have freshly butchered something and is cooking it.
Look, I don't recognize her. I say we keep our distance and keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Who knows if she's crazy or not?
We don't know who we don't know who her allegiances lie with either. If she's part of the Stone Bowl, us not talking to her is not exactly a problem. If she's part of the Chop Shop Boys or those damn mountaineers, that could lead to issues.
And God forbid she's part of the Black Mass.
We deal with those guys every day. Remember, we got the Black Mass mercs.
Doesn't mean I don't want to deal with them on job.
Same here.
Oh. Shall we?
They burned down that supply yard just because there were a couple infected inside. They didn't have enough ammo. You know how much Woodley lost because of that?
Don't get me started. I barely had time. I barely had enough supply. I barely made rent this month.
Mm-hmm. So one of you can make a stealth check to avoid her.
I guess that would be me.
Actually, I think it'd be Jim Pan.
So Jim Pan, you can roll a stealth check to guide the group.
Highest stealth of us all.
Okay.
So Jim Pan's going to guide you past so you don't have to interact with her.
So
Roll 2d10. I see on your sheet that you have a stealth of 3, so it's added in the first number.
Yep.
So I'd like that.
Jim Pan gets an 11 over 5.
11 over 5?
Yes. Okay. So with some finagling, Sven guides you guys around and past her so you don't notice her as you guys continue on, and the older woman just continues to whistle and work. Whistle and work. Whistle and work. Cooking up some delicious meats. Okay, that's your first leg. So everybody
That was
one charge off your rations.
I thought that the interlude was the third leg.
That wasn't the interlude. That was just you guys.
Oh.
Each leg is an event. If something's happening.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, because each leg represents you encountering a group. Something that's in your way. Maybe it's just you guys have to move a car because it's going to be in your way for your path. In this case, it was just oh yeah, there's this weird old woman randomly cooking there. We know how to walk past her right now. She's just kind of weirdly there. Nothing out of the ordinary. Continuing further south, you guys actually do come across a crashed vehicle, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a decent-sized Ford truck. There's 3 what look to be corpses in the vehicle.
We got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
I
So,
pull out my shotgun.
Does anyone have a knife?
No.
I'm pretty sure I don't either.
No.
I could burn three. I could burn three of my 5 uses for my pistol to put a bullet in each one of their heads, since I've got a suppress. But that means I'll be less effective later on.
Yep.
Is there a way to determine if they're
If they're
infected or not?
if they're casualties.
Yeah.
Well, first thing, make me an awareness check because you're getting close enough so you can see if they have any, gunshot wounds or things to the head. That would mean they're dead. Dead.
Yeah. Awareness check. I've got a halfway decent awareness of 2, so I guess I'll do it.
Yep. Well, you're the one that has the pistol, so you're doing it. Yep.
Okay, I'm back. What
Yep,
did
I
miss?
succeed. 5 over 1.
4.
We 4.
Yeah,
Four
you look at and you're like, yeah. The only one that seems to be the casualty is the driver. And as you're looking through, you notice they have some. They seem to be fellow takers.
Other 2 are dead.
Yeah, it seems the other 2 are dead. Something happened. They crashed. Their buddy is now a casualty, and it's not doing anything right now because, well, it's seatbelted and it's a zombie, and there's been no food around, so it's gone into what they call torpor. So it's just sitting there.
Do I even need a roll to put a bullet in its head?
No, you don't. You just need to spend 1 charge. Because
yeah, I'm going to spend I'm going to spend a charge to use one shot from my pistol. It is suppressed, so it's cool. And I'm just going to put a bullet in its head point blank.
Before that happens, can I give you a little heads up as to what I missed?
There was a weird lady that was cooking meat. We just avoided her. We didn't know who she was. We didn't recognize her, so we just thought it best to avoid her.
Yep.
Okay. And we came across a car with a zombie in it.
SUV with a zombie. Looks like it was takers. So we're gonna be scavenging the shit out.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. You guys. Yeah. You shoot the guy. You spend the charge.
Well, technically it's 2 charges, but yes.
Yes. And okay. So you can make me a scavenge check.
Do you want me to make the scavenge check, or does someone else want to do that? Because my scavenge is only a +2 if I burn a charge of my.
I would say tie.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll cover Ty as he goes through it, and quote unquote assist. Even though I don't know if there's an assist check in this game.
Yeah, that will basically represent you making a check yourself in case things go poorly, because you guys can make 2 checks. Ty passes.
He succeeds.
Yeah.
Yep. I just help inventory it and keep an eye on him.
Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna just go down and make a nice little handout for your bounty from the job.
Is the vehicle still working?
Yeah, it took some dinging and some damage, but it's otherwise okay.
Guys, we could use this to get a larger haul.
Yeah.
Sure, the vehicle will be burned out, but we could probably sell it for a scrap back at.
Yeah.
All right, but one question: who's going to drive it?
The only issue is, as you're looking through it, it's only got enough gas to get you halfway back to the enclave.
Well, okay. What we could do is we could see if we can't scavenge some gas on the way.
Yep.
Just a side thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can be a goal, is to look for some other gas along the way.
Yeah.
To help fuel this thing. It's also got some goods in its back.
What does it have in the back?
Looking, it's got some.
Because if there's a gas tank in the back, then well.
Oh no, it's not. It's not fuel. It's, as you're looking in, it's some plastic and some Tupperware and some other containers. You're like, oh, this is a lot of stuff that would have been really useful last winter. It's, the supply and demand for all that's gone down because a lot of takers brought it in.
Why don't we put it into our own personal stores and just and wait? Just leave it as a good, and we'll wait till it's. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, actually, freebie.
Right.
Eventually.
Yeah, so you guys can keep that stuff. It's 3 haul worth of plastic.
Got it. And how much can this vehicle haul?
The vehicle? It's a flatbed. It can haul up to 9.
Okay, I'm thinking because Jim Pan is our weakest hauler, we'll have Jim Pan driving.
Yeah,
What does Jimpan's drive skill? Let's check.
1.
He's also the best driver, potentially.
He's
I have
only
a
the
2.
only driver.
I have a 2.
Okay. It's coming back. I'm trying to maximize because the thing is, technically, can the person in the vehicle still technically haul well, or does their haul get put into the vehicle?
Their hull gets put into the vehicle.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have Kiri drive it there, but we'll have Jimpan drive it back, unless we're willing to sacrifice one hull of wood. I mean, we're still technically gaining if we can get this vehicle back. In worst case scenario, we just abandon the vehicle and leave it where it is if we can't get more fuel.
Yep. You also scrape out the zomzoms.
We're pouring bleach on shit.
Yeah.
You find they have 9 loose bounty on them.
Do you guys want to split it equally?
Yeah.
We'll split it all up once you guys have done all your jobs.
Okay, understood. Got it. And bounty, I'm guessing, takes up effectively no space, carry space.
Yeah. So once you guys, and it has plastic. The plastic's value is 6, and there's 3 hull of it.
So it's worth 18 bounty.
Yeah.
But we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it long term.
Yeah. And you can sell it now. Basically, sell 1 unit of it.
And we're just gonna put it into storage. We're gonna wait for it to spike.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
I mean, we could sacrifice the plastic and just get more wood if you guys want to go down that road. But I'm thinking that we diversify it and store a little bit of extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, diversify.
Yeah.
Because if wood bombs and what you call spikes, then we have it already. Plastic spikes.
Then we'll probably sell the vehicle since I don't think we'll be able to maintain it.
Yeah, now it's...
Which will be what one of you can do.
Yeah.
You know, next session is sell the vehicle.
That is a possibility as well.
Yeah. If you use the fuel to get it there, you'll need to get enough fuel to get it back. So that's going to be your job: is get enough fuel to get it back.
Got it. Because we already have the wood effectively secured.
Yep. So, right. Let's go down to things.
Interlude is going to be next things.
Interlude next. So, do you want to roll for it?
Well, first we got to eat up another ration.
Yep, another 2 rations. Second, because one for the car, because that was one of your events, and then 1 for the interlude. So you should get
3. Oh, got it.
So 3 marks.
Yeah, 3 marks. Okay.
1 per leg.
Got it. So we're on leg 3 now.
Yeah, which is the interlude. Yep.
And the rations get marked. Oh, there it is. I see it. We've just marked 3 right now.
Yep. Yeah. And let's see. We got 9 supply and 9 demand. And you guys are able to carry at least 11 hull. And
well, we'll be upping it to, you said it, we put 9 in that thing.
You put 9 more in the truck because
I'm assuming 3 is already taken up by the plastic.
Yeah, because that's what it. Yeah, it's got a 12 hull total because it's a flatbed. It can carry a lot of goods.
Yeah, and we're not exactly moving quick with this vehicle. We're basically going at light, kind of fast walk, light jog with it. So moving slow-ish.
Okay.
Actually, no, we can kind of ride on the flatbed there because we don't take.
You can all ride in there on the flatbed. Yeah. You can actually ride back in there. You guys can all just ride on the flatbed. It has room to carry you all.
Mm-hmm. But what about our hull?
It's not your hull.
We're sitting on top of the hull.
Got it. Well, our own independent. So the only person who loses their hull is the driver.
Yeah. So you'll go from 11 to 10 for.
But we gain an additional 9.
Yeah. Yeah, which will be nice. Now then, let's start with some things. Who wants to be the instigator of the interlude? The person that sparks the conversation.
I might.
Okay, roll 2d10, Kiri. Okay. Let's see. 3 to 9. Okay. So, Kiri, you. So, Kiri, this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to seek out solution for this. And who are you talking to? Are you talking to Ty or Seawall?
Talk with Seawall.
Okay. Seawall.
So I guess we're what? So we're just what? Sitting in the back of the vehicle right now.
Yeah.
We have Ty up. We got Ty up front because he has the shotgun, so he gets shotgun, of course.
Yep. Roll me actually a D10, Seawall.
A single D10.
We're gonna do the actual, fully random interlude just because might do it once.
3.
Okay. You're trying to be friendly about it, so there you go. So Kiri's trying to seek absolution, and you're trying to, be a friendly, supportive role.
You haven't had any jobs that just went to shit?
Oh yeah. And he's kind of thinking back to his own past, since he's done things before the crash. But Tish.
Yeah. There's one time where I had this client. Basically, what happened is that it was a group of 12 people, obviously me included. So we were doing a job of retrieving some items for him. Turns out he ended up backstabbing us all in the back. And do you want to know the worst part is? I ended up losing some really good friends because of that. And one of the other friends I had that survived it, he basically doesn't talk to me anymore because of that. Because of that shit that happened. And he lives like in the upper parts of Mile High. So us coming in contact's not exactly common. I'm just hoping that maybe just get some kind of job, get some resolution. Maybe by chance find a job that has us deal with that guy that client that quote unquote hired us, and maybe bring him along to kill him. Let's get some revenge for some of our friends.
My guy pulls out his pistol and goes, "Hey, if the guy screwed you, he earned himself a .45 caliber sandwich."
Oh yeah, right in the back of the neck.
Nah, you're gonna want to go for right here, and he points to the back of his head, nearby the brainstem, base of the skull. Gets him every time.
That's if you're wanting to be merciful. Just leave him shot in the neck. He's still alive, paralyzed, quadriplegic, out and let nature take its course.
I use hollow point rounds. Shooting someone in the neck's gonna blow the neck apart.
Well, at the very least, it would be quite cathartic then. Witnessing all that viscera explosion.
But hey, guy screwed you. Unfortunately, it sometimes happens. But since you lost your buddies, if it was just a little bit of bounty, that happens. Life sucks. You got to move on. But losing buddies, there's only one way to pay that back.
Yeah.
Lord knows I've done more than my fair share of getting payback.
If you ever come across the name Cromwell, give me a heads up. That's the guy that hired us.
I'll keep an ear to the ground.
Yeah, and with that, you guys and your interlude mark off another ration because you're driving.
So we're at what? We're at 4 now?
Yep. But because you're driving, you get to skip the event.
Oh, nice.
Because you can drive. That's what makes cars really good. They basically act like interludes.
Got it. So I guess we'll break into a couple of teams. We'll have our scavenger go out and see if he can't find gasoline to get us back. The rest of us will just start getting the wood together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so
I mean, worst case scenario,
We get the car.
The car got us here, so it saved us some time.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah. So now Now then, who's scavenging?
Of course, me. I guess me.
Ty.
Okay, Ty, make me a scavenge check to look for fuel.
Ooh.
Yeah, you're searching around. We'll get back to Ty. Is anyone else helping scavenge?
I'll help out. I'm going to burn another use of my Ubix specs.
Okay. Spend it.
Spent it, and I might have succeeded in finding fuel.
Yeah, you find some fuel. You're going to be able to together. You and Ty are doing that while Kiri and Jimpan are gathering lumber from this location.
Yep.
You're gathering it up. It's a Home Depot that hasn't been raided yet, along with some other stuff, some trees nearby that people have been using. Well, you two are doing that in the quiet. Bringing over, setting up the lumber. You got the 9 units into the car.
As is
6 units or 3 units of plastic.
No, it can. That's the 9 units it can hold beyond.
Oh, it can normally hold 12 total. I see.
Yeah.
So we're getting an additional 9. So actually, we are getting a very good haul out.
Yeah, you're getting a huge.
Yeah.
And then
question.
yes,
Where on the sheet would it be? Is like if I wanted to mark off a charge using the flashlight, for example. Oh, I see. There's a charge button right there. Yeah, I see it.
and your flashlight's solar and stuff, so it ends
Yeah,
one
so
of the
like,
shape ones, so
when
you don't actually need to spend charges on it.
Yeah, so like as we're like gathering some of the material, like if there's like some dark areas, I just use the flashlight to illuminate that, in case there's like maybe some other nice things to get or alert of possible danger.
Well, you're doing the lumber thing. So as you two are doing that, gathering up woods, you guys notice some other people also here, and they kind of pause and look at you. Jim Pon, Sven, and everybody's favorite, Jimbo. These guys are. There's 3 of them. They're setting themselves up. They got some backpacks. They got some supply stuff. They're decently armed. The one guy in the lead's got some carpet armor on, and so does one of the other guys. They have carpet armor, the best armor. The best. And they've all got some weapons, and they're seem to be setting up to haul, and they look at you and they look at the wood.
Do they draw their weapons, or is
They're
it
not
more of-
shooting yet. They're just and the leader guy starts approaching you. He's wearing a mask as well. It's just a very simple porcelain mask, and he just looks at you.
Hi there.
Hello.
Can we help you?
You're taking supplies from our territory.
What territory is that?
What territory is that? You don't know?
No.
Oh. Southside boys. He holds out a hand.
Could you repeat that? You kind of broke up a little on my end.
Southside boys.
I bring my hand out and shake it. Jimbo from the Stone Bowl.
We're over from Overland Park. He points to the east and south from you. So if you look on the map, you'll see now a nice pink and green thing. That's where the south side is.
All right, so this right here, that's where they're from?
Yes.
Okay. And we're obviously here.
Yes.
Okay.
So technically it's not, an enclave's territory is where the enclave is. But, he's trying to stake a claim on this. So you're going to be taken from this. You're going to need to split your haul.
I figured as much. How much of a split are we talking?
He looks over to the others. We'll take 20%.
I look to Sven and just like tilt my head. So, do we do that?
They start nodding to each other as the other two are setting up and gathering up some of the pallets and stuff. So it seems they knew about, the rage for wood as well, and they're trying to capitalize on it to make some money.
Ty and I guess, are still busy.
Yeah, you guys are too busy to be doing that, so you're not there for this. And he's just kind of waiting for... So you're saying yes, Kiri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, that works for us. And he'll leave you be. So, there we go. So, what... the leader of the Southside Boys will be coming with you to get his share of the bounty, as he'll help you actually unpack and get everything up onto the truck.
So we don't have the full 19 that we can carry. We're a little bit light.
No, he's going to... It's
going to be the afterwards he'll take his cut.
Yeah. He's going... Of the 19... Well, actually, now it's going to be 20 because he'll be hauling one. You'll then take the section that you sell off. So whatever you sell this session, he'll take 20% of it. So if you say made 100, he'll take 20 bounty.
Okay.
All right.
If you guys made 200, he'd take 40. So he's just... And because Kiri agreed, didn't negotiate, which is both good and bad because
Mom? I'm going to order some food so you don't
as
have to cook.
he talks, he calls himself Gas,
It is your birthday, after
which fits
all.
with the gas mask he's wearing. He doesn't say much.
KFC.
You can see closer that he's actually got on his torso chainmail. So he's got carpet armor and chainmail.
Actually, 20% is not a bad cut because it's only one time that he gets that from this session. And he also doesn't participate in the other trade where we're giving as investment, we're giving that guy wood. So that doesn't actually, so we're not actually losing as much as we might be thinking.
Yep.
At the same time, we're also gaining something that's very valuable. Information.
We're gaining information, and we are gaining, and we're also gaining a little bit of extra movement, a bit of extra carry capacity because he's going to carry a little bit, which means, Which means actually, if he was part of the team, he'd be getting a fair cut.
Yeah. So you will barely scrape by and get enough fuel to get you guys back to the Enclave.
Yeah.
You guys got exactly 8 units of fuel, or 8 bounty worth of fuel, which is literally exactly what you needed.
And he was the Southside Boys?
Yeah.
New faction.
Yeah. Southside Boys.
So who are these fellas?
You're not back yet, because as you're gathering
never
the
mind.
fuel, something's happened.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, so you guys are, in the back of the Home Depot gathering up the fuel, and that's when you hear the click, of something, clicking its jaws together. From the back room, a single casualty is stumbling out. You
fails.
No, that's not its attack roll. That's how many there are and how close it is. So it's right next to you guys. You guys are getting the fuel, and it basically stumbles through the disjointed door right next to one of you. You guys can both roll me awareness checks. Because casualties, that's why casualties are scary, is because, they don't make noise. That's the only reason they can, sneak up on you, is because they're otherwise lumbering.
I notice it.
So do
You
both
both
of us.
notice it, so you can both act normally. So yeah, it's right next to you guys. You guys can try and shoot at it. If you had failed, it would have gotten to attack.
I'm going to shoot. I'm going to shoot it.
Yep, shoot it. Oh, nice. You peg the casualty, and it's quiet again. And you guys start
Tunk.
gathering the fuel.
Tunk, tunk. Wait, I take out both of them?
No, there's only one.
Got it.
Yeah, the 2d10 is how close it is and how many there are.
So the first die was how many there were, and the second die was how close, or was it the other way around?
Other way around,
Yeah.
technically, yeah. So
Yeah,
the thing is, casualties can only attack you when they're at 1. And they move 1 closer every round.
Got it. So,
And that's why
Blue just sees Will just casually pull out his pistol and just put it to the thing's head and pull the trigger.
Yep.
Punk.
Yeah.
Just falls over and go, huh. Well, that was mildly surprising. Puts the pistol back.
Yeah.
And
really.
you can see into the back room / loading bay area. And you can see inside of that there's this guy just happened to be lucky enough to stumble up the stairs. You know, casualties aren't known for their
dexterity.
Yeah, they kind of pool like water.
Quick question: are the stairs made of wood?
No, they're concrete stairs. It goes down to a loading bay, so it's about 5 feet up off the ground. So it's just enough that a casualty. The only way a casualty is going to rush at anybody or get up those stairs quickly is because the moment they see prey, they suddenly become coordinated, at least coordinated enough to get upstairs. But when they don't have prey around, they kind of stumble. They're drunk basically. And you can see in the loading bay, there's 9 more casualties just kind of bumping around. They aren't paying you guys any attention. They're just stuck in the loading bay. So you could ignore them or you could take care of them.
Yeah.
But
Don't have that much ammo.
Yeah, just quickly get the fuel and leave before.
Is the loading bay door closed? The outer
that's
bay
why
door?
they haven't left.
I'm just going to, as we finish collecting the fuel, just close the loading bay door behind us and just knock a shelf over. And then, is there like a mark that people make when they found some casualties? Yeah, he's just going to mark next to the door that, hey, there's casualties here.
Yep. Okay.
Just grab a can of spray paint off the shelf and just do a quick spray of that. Just be a nice guy to the next guy. Just have that metal shelf just tipped over so they can't.
You can also make a scavenge check on this casualty if you want. See if there's any loot on them.
I'll do that. I'll burn another use of my Ubix specs because I've got a ton of uses of that.
Yep, sure, do it. Roll it. Crit fails.
Don't succeed, but
nothing. You don't find anything. It's
nothing of real value.
Yeah,
and nothing of real value. Just some torn up clothing.
Some infected flesh, and that's when you guys return, help fuel up the truck, and
notice the new guy.
Yep, the Southside boy, Gas, as he's calling himself, looks at you and nods.
Okay, so now Ty and Seawall have just met Gas.
Yep.
They Blues.
Yo, who's the new guy?
Gas from the Southside boys. They're located right by the old Overland Golf Course by Ruby Hill.
And they're going to help us out. What's going to cost us?
20% of the bounty that we get. So basically, like a cut into we probably would have normally gotten.
Not the best deal ever, but hey, it works. Might as well be friendly.
Yeah.
Let's get loaded up then.
Yep.
We'll gas it up. We got just enough. We'll have to sell the vehicle when we get back because we're not buying fuel for this.
Yeah, it feels a bit pricey.
But good enough for a one-time use.
Not to mention the maintenance.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys can sell it during next session. You can't sell it during this session.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which, by the by, if you don't sell it, it starts to you have to pay the upkeep for it.
Yeah.
You either have to either keep it or you sell it, basically.
Beginning of next session, we'll have to sell it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be one of
Yeah.
your work events. And you guys drive back with your haul, your 10 haul carried by people that are walking, and the 10 haul that's on the truck that's driven by.
It's 11 carried by people, 9 on the vehicle, with an additional 3 plastic.
Yep.
Personally, I would have tried to see if they needed plastic and see if we couldn't have traded the 3 plastic to get a full haul.
No, they don't really want the plastic.
So even if we tried that, they wouldn't have been interested.
Well, I'm pointing out that it's 11 and 9. Either way, it totals out to 20. Yeah. So that means now we get to the thing. Schmitty eagerly takes 2 of your haul of wood to help with his project.
That is just to let you know, that is equivalent of 18 bounty at current price, at current market
per thing. Yes,
so we're giving him an equivalent of 40, well, to 36.
Yeah.
Also, I'm thinking if you guys are okay with it, just taking some of that additional bounty and just handing it to him so he can get it to a nice solid 40.
Yeah.
So you want to spend 4 of your loose bounty on that?
Yeah, 4 loose bounty on it.
Okay, so rate of return is currently 40.
Yep.
Okay.
We probably should do some insider trading to increase our odds, but hey, next time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Will got a success, so he sells off 3 of your haul.
So let me get the math.
You guys are able to sell off 3 more.
Okay.
So
so is Will going to charge us 5?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to. Yeah. Wait a second. So.
Yeah.
So that's 108 bounty. So you make 113 total so far.
Yeah.
All right.
And
yeah, because we got a lot more wood than we know what to do with. I guess we'll have to start selling it at other sessions on our.
Yep. So you guys have. You have. Well, you can technically have Will keep on selling it. He'll keep selling 3 units until it's supply and demand goes down.
Yeah. So 108, but we got to subtract 15 from that.
Well, no. First, you subtract the 20% bought by everybody's favorite gas, and then we subtract the 15 from Will, which leaves you with
71.5 technically.
76.
76? Oh, okay.
So 76 total.
So the 20% is first,
got
which knocks you from 113 down to 90. 91 technically. But yeah. Because he takes his 20% up front. And then Will takes his 15, and that leaves you with 76 to just to split amongst you guys. So now we just take in your upkeep.
So that's 80. That's 81 that we got from this. Is that a pretty good haul? Number 1.
Let's see. Your upkeep is Seawall is 6 upkeep. And this is where we get to the math section. Okay, and ties is 13, so we subtract 19 from the 76, so down to 657, and then we subtract Jimbo's upkeep and Sven's upkeep.
Which tab does this say our upkeep at again?
It's on the gear bounty near the bottom. I'm going to quickly check for both Jimbo and Sven. But you guys have definitely made quite a lot of money, especially as long as things keep selling like this.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, we just basically store it because storage doesn't cost us anything, to my knowledge.
I mean, you still have to pay Will, basically.
Yeah, well, no, we could also just fire Will and say, hey, Will, the market's going down.
Yep.
Or have him try to sell the plastic if the plastic spikes for one reason or another.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So that means you guys are left with 35, and you have that 12 more haul left to sell. So you guys have 35 to divide amongst the 4 of you.
So we each get
8 3/4.
8 3/4. So,
yep.
But I'm guessing we gotta be at least even.
Yeah. So you could basically
Oh yeah, did we also take into account us having to invest our 2 apiece to this?
Well, you did that with the lumber.
Yeah, 2 bounty, and then we also got 9 loose bounty. We gave 4 to get it up to 40, so a nice even.
Yeah. So basically,
yep. Sorry, no. Did you include the +5 of that extra bounty we had in all that?
Yes, that's there. That's why it's 35.
35, got it.
So you guys could, as is, you guys could each take 8, and then just splurge on the rest, basically on your dependents.
Yeah.
Which would generally be what would happen. So you guys walk away each with 8 bounty.
Got it.
So 8.
I walk away with 7 bounty as I spend 1 3/4 on on Jessica.
No, 3/4 of the splurge.
Oh, 3/4 of the splurge. Okay.
Yeah, basically you're all splurging together. You're all basically pulling up and paying like, let's buy this for all those people around us.
Yep, I'll pick up something nice for Jeannie.
Yep. Now let's see. I think there's a section to put in your bounty. So if you go down, you'll see savings near the bottom. So go down to savings on the gear and bounty page and put in 8. You now have 8 in your savings.
Where is there it is. Just put an 8 in anywhere in there.
Yeah. Specifically, probably the right side. I'm betting that will actually. Yeah, there you go. Goes in nicely there. That's an increase. Yeah. That's your savings. Savings can be used for all sorts of things, fun things. Yay!
Oh, so can I also add that 3 spare bounty that I never spent during character creation and add that to the savings?
Yes. So your savings would be 11.
I think I sold everything. I bought everything I could. I needed it.
Yeah. So just make sure your savings are your total bounty. So there you go. That's what your current savings is at.
Nice.
And you can spend savings to buy upgrades, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
because this is kind of end of session, I didn't need it. I'm going to quietly step away and make a phone call.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can get some support, i.e., in the form of additional bounty. Will command do an airdrop of additional bounty?
Their general response is going to be no, because you haven't done anything for the DHQS yet. They'll note that you want some additional money for supply runs, etc.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. Well, this is my request for this specific session. Other sessions, I might make other requests.
They're noting it for later, as in it's no right now. Once we've sent you a thing, we'll give you a little bit extra.
Got it.
Yeah. And next session, will sell 3, and that will make you guys are going to make some nice bank next session.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, we're going to insider trading. We've also got to look into with our networking, see if we can't figure out if the wood prices are still high. If they're still relatively high, we'll sell it and just kind of eat the loss of 5.
Well, what's going to happen is the wood price is going to stay the same. It's every session I'll roll for an event that will happen while you guys are on the job. That will affect things.
So theoretically, it could be actually even more expensive.
Yeah, wood could go up. It could go down. Will could ask for a raise. That's an entire possibility.
Do we get any stress?
No, you don't get any stress.
We did just fall.
You guys just got really lucky this session and made off well.
I had to fire 2 bullets, but those are pretty easy to replace. That's covered part of maintenance.
Yeah, that's what your upkeep is. So all your charges go back down to 0. You guys made it out of this without you avoided things. You actually used the truck pretty smartly to get you there.
We'll use one of our works next time, probably me, because I've got the best stats to try and sell. I'll have you guys handle trying to manipulate the markets.
I could also before we try selling the truck, I could use my mechanics check to look it over, see if there's anything that could be inexpensively repaired that would increase its value.
Yeah,
like giving it a tune-up.
Yeah.
That'd be troubleshooting, basically. So that'd be
Got it.
Kiri's work action.
Got it.
Yep. And you know, you guys made out of this relatively okay. You know, and yeah, you settle in. Thus begins the adventure of Vikings of the Damned.
Yep.
And I mean, hey, we lost a little bit of money with those guys, but you know, because we took their offer we know they exist, and also I'm presuming that they'll see us next time we bump into them. Like, hey, if we bump into the same guys, like, hey, those are the guys that gave us a pretty good deal for helping for splitting the haul.
Yep.
At the very least, they will shoot us on sight.
Yeah.
Shoots you on sight. Why? Oh.
Yeah, and I just love that one zombie just kind of walked up and to like, and I just turned around. Hello. Boop.
If either of you had failed, that would have been the one it would have attacked, and it would have been hilarious just to watch it. It's like, what? Oh God! Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
Yeah, and I didn't set up, and because I got a suppressor and I'm using subsonic ammo because I'm using a 45 ACP.
Because I didn't want to use my shotgun and learn all the zombies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of poked my head into the room where he came from. Goes, oh, that's not good. Closes door, spray paint symbol of their casualties here, and then pushed a metal shelf in the way, so they're not getting out of that. And then they started whistling, I'm walking on sunshine while walking out, I guess.
Yeah, really.
With a can of fuel.
And I had my shotgun trained just in case they're somehow, some way, had to get out.
But yeah, as I said, he just whistled, I'm walking on sunshine, as he walked out. So this went off pretty well. I mean, we didn't get, full output, but the thing is we can't sell everything at once.
Yep.
Yeah, but
and
we still
how happy was Schmitty that we're heavily investing in him?
I'm very happy because you basically gave him all the wood he needs to finish up. So he just needs to hire people to do
the bounty we gave him might actually be enough to cover most of
it. Yeah, that bounty will basically cover 2 workers to, do this, and then 2 more to do something else. Like he can basically, cover getting everything set up. You two carry the wood up there, and then you 2 build the thing.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to need to hire somebody out to provide him the, the dirt and, seeds that he's going to need.
So, yeah, basically we covered at least half, if not more, of that investment.
So the best part is that you guys technically could take the job to gather the, fertilizer and seeds next time.
Yeah, that actually might be a good job.
Yep. It may not pay very well, but then again, it could also just help guarantee that the...
Well, could we make that investment a recurring thing where we're effectively the owners and he's just managing it?
Yeah, I mean...
No. There is a way to actually start up a small business like that, yes. But you'd need to negotiate that, etc.
Basically, like, look, Schmitty, we brought you pretty much everything you asked for and did the job at a discount. We want long-term partnership in this deal.
Yeah, potentially. But then again, maybe Schmitty's already got people lined up for the work. You'll find out next session.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, let's see what the event for next session is going to be. Let's see. Oh, yeah. There we go. So that's what's going to be happening. So, yeah. The good news is, so every session for now until things happen, will continue to sell 3 units. Okay. So at the end of every session, I'll mark off 3 units. And then I'll cut off Will's, wages.
Yep.
And that'll be added to your end bounty. But that doesn't cover your break point because there is the potentiality that things go crazy and then he's unable to sell anything because of, anything from just a random fire to other things.
Yeah, and what was it? We sold 6 units and 2 units consumed as part of the investment.
Yep.
So that means we had 20 units total. We sold
12 units left. So
Well,
basically,
wow.
it's going to be over the next 4 sessions that your lumber is going to be sold off.
Can't we sell it ourselves, or are we at the end of that?
Yeah, you can only sell off your initial supply because
Got it.
That's what Will's there for. Will is basically,
he's got to hawk it.
Yeah, he's hawking it because you guys have to do taker stuff.
And worst case scenario, we get a little bit of extra money out of it. I mean, we got a pretty good haul for a session. 8 units just to store.
Yep.
That's enough to keep most of us going for at least one bad session.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And unless I roll 1 for the trouble that happens, because every session there will be a trouble. Wages rise, wages stagnate. If wages stagnate, that's actually good for you because it means that things are slow enough that basically Will's only making the 4 bounty version.
Yeah.
Or wages rise, everything goes up by 2.
I'm presuming that Will is quite happy with our current arrangement from what we can tell.
Yeah. You do realize that he just made,
15 bounty.
Yeah. Technically, he has to pay for the upkeep of his stuff and, his dependent, which knocks him down to, probably based on the fact that he has that sword, he's and the basic stuff, he probably has at least 1 dependent, but since he's a negotiator, he's got multiple. He's down to probably about 7 bounty off of that, but 7 bounty is still,
he's gotten the equivalent of 1 cut, just under 1 cut of what we've got. So he's probably thinking, wow, I'm actually doing pretty well for myself. I didn't even have to risk it. And I got almost as much as they have in the bank.
Yep. Of course, that's, of course, assuming he doesn't also have a gun. If he has a gun, then he's down to 5, but that's still, a nice cut because that's enough to last him another week in case things go poorly. Yeah, so he's making off his bank. And of course, you guys can hire in other employees that potentially sell you more. So they'll come in based on what you roll. So you could get Meth Lady. Oh, yeah.
My money is the lady who was cooking human that we stumbled across.
Also, by the way, Act of God is basically your business gets shut down because something happened.
Turns out Jimbo's been selling drugs on the side. Sorry, not Jimbo. Schmitty's been selling drugs on the side, and he's been arrested. All of his assets seized.
Yeah.
Or
suicide work, it probably is like either a researcher or a mechanic. Because I doubt they'd have me work in a hospital.
Yep. And then there's the fun fact that you guys have references. So when you guys, are out on the job, you guys can spend a charge from either Jim Pan's laptop or Seawall's Ubix, or just during, stuff in the Enclave, you can spend a charge from those, as long as Jim Pan or Seawall's willing to let you. And you can use that for something very useful, calling in a reference. You have a number of references to start with equal to your charisma. You can get more by doing good jobs, etc. When you call in a reference, you can use them basically to auto pass a networking check, etc. Or hey, I want to know about this location. Calling in a reference lets you, get information. Oh god, yeah. 5 is bad. So references can be used for if you guys really want to know every single job option available. Like, oh, none of us passed the networking check to know if there's any jobs available. Or, we only passed the networking check to know that, hey, here's the 3 jobs. We know that there's high-risk job, medium-risk job, and another medium-risk job. And that's it. We don't know who's doing them. That's another thing. So for jobs, this is an important one. When you make the
I'm presuming buying an upgrade only costs 1 money unit, correct?
No, it costs 2.
Oh, it costs 2? Okay, got it.
It costs 1 during character creation.
Okay, I'm thinking I'm going to get extended magazine to remove the hunger on my pistol just so I've got more shots. It's not going to be extended magazines. Basically, my guy's buying more ammunition and more magazines.
Yeah, I know. It's just called extended magazines because, it's a easy thing to reference as a term.
Yep, and I'm now down to 6, but hey, I just wanted to get rid of that because that was a bit of a...
Yeah, it makes it so you're using 2 charges per shot.
Now down to 1 charge a shot, which means I got 10 shots.
Yep. Yeah. So I'm referencing this for when you take a job. So let's say you guys had decided to do some job stuff this session. You would have rolled your reference, or rather, you would have rolled your network. Let's go with Seawall's roll of a crit. Seawall then could know, okay, I know there's 3 jobs, so that's the first networking check. Then Seawall could find out the price point of one of the jobs. That's the thing. So each success lets you know 1 detail. So 1 success lets you know how many jobs are available. Then you can find out who's, offering the job. Like, oh, this NPC is offering the job. Or this NPC is offering the job. Or this NPC. And another success lets you know how much it's worth. And then the third lets you know what's the risk. So let's say, for example, there was 3 jobs out there. So you would know there's 3 jobs, and then you and Jimpan had 1 more information thing each. So you could each learn the value of one of the jobs, or you could team up to know the value and the risk, or to know the person and the risk. But you'd only know that for one of the jobs. Basically, you're getting 1 more piece of information per success.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's why references are useful, because you can spend a reference to basically go, hey, I'd call in this guy that's a DJ who does DJ stuff on the radio. So people have something to listen to rather than just the deafening silence of nothingness. This DJ, oh, hey, DJ reference. What can you tell me about this job? Here's what I know. It's got this bounty. So, he's like, this is the cost. So you could find out that. Oh, yeah. Also, trouble number 5 is bad. Which is basically people are stealing or units get damaged because of time, etc. And you lose a number of units based on a D10 roll. Which is, the shitty one. 6 is, demand rises, so the price of everything goes up. Mm-hmm. To be fair, your demand can't get much higher than it currently is.
It's 9. Isn't 10 the max?
Yeah, 10's the max.
And the supply is going to take a while to stabilize.
Yeah. So what it is basically every session I'll be rolling the trouble, and now 1 is Act of God. Your business shuts down unless you guys basically all do your work events to troubleshoot, which is basically you guys are like going to the, we're not involved with this. It'd be like, oh, it turns out Schmitty is a meth dealer.
Yeah.
And you guys were working with him on the, garden. That would basically be you burning all your money to help that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 8 is liquidity increases. Basically, 1 more unit is sold. That's it. It's just 8 is 1 more unit sold than normal. 9 is 1 less unit sold than normal.
Mm-hmm. So there's a 1 in 10 chance of Act of God?
Yeah, which is basically something went really shitty. It's a 1 on the D10. 10, meanwhile, is Windfall.
Yeah.
I roll a die, which is basically the number of new units your company comes into. In case, basically, you guys are currently investing in lumber sales, Will's lumber sales, or rather, it's Vikings of the Dam lumber sales. With Will as your employee.
Yeah. And we pay him on commission, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And what it is, I love this. Windfall is basically, I roll, that's the number of units that just suddenly are in the market that you guys can buy for the demand price. Not the supply plus demand, just the demand. So you guys could basically restock your supply. That's what the 10 Windfall is.
Yeah, I'm going to need to be selling that vehicle next time, which I've got a feeling is going to be worth a little bit. Though it is a specialized item because it does require fuel, and we are in an area where fuel's a bit scarce. So it's going to be... I could sell it for scrap, that's for damn sure, but...
At
I
the
mean,
same
it's a
time,
house.
I want to see if I can make it worth a little bit more.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm going to point out. It is a house, basically. Put it simply, people are going to be willing to pay at least what its upkeep is, which is 5. You're
Okay.
guaranteed to be able to sell it for 5.
Got it.
Because even if you fail, it's a truck, and somebody can basically be like, I bought the truck, so I then spend some money to buy lumber, and now I've built a house on the back of it.
Yeah. And maybe as part of that, they ripped the engine block out, and other bits of metal were ripped off it, and they were sold to the foundry to cover the wood costs.
Yeah. They could also, turn it into a mobile home and other things. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And 4 is just business as usual. Nothing happens. Yeah. Anything can happen. Yay. So next session you'll find out. I hope you all had fun. Any questions, comments, or suggestions?
Nothing I could think of right now.
Nope.
You guys just made out of this, rolling a bank.
Yeah. And I just, got myself extra mags and secured extra ammo for in the long run.
Yay.
Yep.
Honestly, I don't really think there's anything I need to buy.
Yeah, I'm good. I will save my money for for a rainy day.
I mean, yeah.
I'm saving the rest. I don't really have much use for anything else. I mean, I could pick up. Where is it? I could pick up the Deadeye's hack and get a +2 to shooting, but
yeah, you guys can buy upgrades. It's 2 bounty per upgrade. The other thing you can do is you can spend 1 bounty to give yourself 1 skill point. So you could make yourself have like 1 and unarmed. Or you can spend 2 bounty to increase a 1 to a 2. So that's how you're basically investing money to get help in practicing a skill.
Yeah.
And
then potential, I'm guessing that's expensive to increase.
That's 10.
That's 10? Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So as an example, Jim Pan could spend 1 bounty to upgrade his foresight to 1. Because again, you can't increase a skill beyond its potential. Yeah, so there you go. Or Jim Pan could spend 1 to give himself melee 1, so Jim Pan knows how to use an axe. And let's look at Ty. I can give some suggestions there, and then let's look at Jimbo. Jim Bob.
I love how my name's the only one that's written in quotation marks.
I mean, they're all technically taker names, which is probably the weirdest thing is the fact that your group has a guy that goes by Sven and Will. Like, they get Sven because, like, Vikings of the Damned. Oh, Sven, yeah, that makes sense. And then they look at Will and they're like,
that's my name. Don't see another reason to get another name.
Right, weird taker. The weirdest taker we've ever dealt with.
Yep.
So yeah, for example, Ty could grab 1 in melee, so you could get 1 in melee or 1 in resistance, or he could get 1 in criminality, or he could upgrade his drone pilot to 2.
Also, he can upgrade his drone.
Yeah, he can also upgrade his drone. The standard thing is, whenever you're increasing the skill to, that's how much bounty it costs. So, upgrading a skill to 1 costs 1, upgrading a skill to 2 costs 2. And you can upgrade a number of things equal to, I think it's 1, or I think it's your intelligence, one or the other. I'd have to look at the thing again.
Okay, so if I were to upgrade a skill from 0 to 2, that would cost 2 skills or 3 skill?
3. 1 to get it to 1 and 2 to get it to 2.
Okay.
So what are you thinking of increasing?
That's what I thought. Now I know.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So you could technically use that to upgrade. You could also upgrade your melee to 2, Kiri. So you punch people better. Kiri, you also have a 2 in strength.
Yeah.
You're a fairly strong guy.
At the same time, I'm not a fighter.
Yep. You could also see about saving up and upgrading your charisma eventually to 2. Or you could spend, 3 upkeep and upgrade your first aid to 3. Yay! And be a better doctor.
And thus reduce the chance of infecting somebody.
Yay! Yes. Yep. Just keep that in mind as you do things. Yeah. And we'll go with you can upgrade 1 potential if you have the bounty for it, which is expensive. It's 10. Or you can upgrade 2 skills. Or you can upgrade 1 skill and buy an upgrade. Or rather, upgrades. For your gear. Is that any upgrades? I don't think Huey really needs any upgrades, except for maybe buying off the clunky on his toolkit. Oh yeah, mounted will be good once Kiri actually gets a gun.
Possibly.
Yeah, then you can mount it on an axe. I mean, to be accurate, that is technically a possibility. You could mount it on an axe that you buy. Oh yeah, and Ty could upgrade and buy a spread on his shotgun, so he's able to hit 2 casualties at once. Or he could buy armor to make it so that whatever his Dronky's name is able to take a better punch. It doesn't break. Or he could add in surveillance software to turn the Dronky into a scout for the party. Or add a PA system and be like, follow me, follow me, follow me. Leads off some casualties. I am tasty. Casualties follow the sound. Find out it's not something tasty. Wander off.
Maybe we should discuss this with the party.
Yeah,
Well,
you got a lot of options.
Yeah.
You also could just inject somebody with the, hey. Yeah, you could always inject somebody and make them into a latent. Who wants to take the drug? K7864. They did test batches of 9,999 people. And they started at A and they ended at K7864 before they found the cure, i.e., what is called the suppressant, which makes people latents. Yay! That's always, I love that detail. Yay. Okay. Glad you guys had fun. And yeah. So yeah, one of the big things you guys got out lucky without any stress this session. Because
what would the event have been if we didn't take the truck?
Well, I would have rolled for it. Let's see. Let's roll 2d10. Turns out it's the same old lady. Hello, boys.
How the fuck did she get in front of us?
Hello.
Oh God, she's a ghost! Run!
Ghost latents.
I knew.
Technically, if we never got that truck in the first place, and I would never need to use the bullets, so I still would have had an extra.
Hello. Ha-ha.
Sorry, old lady.
Then we would use your
So you pretty much murdered an old lady.
Oh yeah. Here it is. 85. The takers come across a dead trade caravan. The mob of casualties that were chowing down on them look up for what they're doing at the party. That's 85. And start lumbering towards the takers.
So at that point, we just slowly back away and keep taking shots.
Follow it up to this. Make an awareness check. I'm going to tell you what that... the players realize that the corpses on the ground of the dead will rise up as vectors, i.e., the fast zombies, in 4 rounds.
Okay, that's not good. Open fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point,
the,
I would have been commanding my drone to fire while I fire myself.
Yeah. By the by, it has one of the best lines ever, which is, if the takers survive, there's 4 haul of goods on the caravan. So whatever good they're carrying, there's 4 haul of it. And there's a D10 divided by 2 bounty for each caravan member. So basically, each of the fast zombies has, at least 1 to 5 bounty on them.
Plus whatever they were hauling, assuming we can get the vehicle.
Well, to be fair, it could just be a walking caravan and they're carrying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the thing is, the players can either carry the haul, they sell it for themselves, or they can call in the enclave that it was to go to. If they call in the enclave it was to go to, they get a 4 bounty finder's fee, and they get the rep spot honest.
Can we call in our own enclave?
If that's where it was going to.
But what if it wasn't going to there? Could we still not get it by sending it to a different one?
You can't get the honest. No. You can.
I'm not talking about the honest. I'm talking about just the pay.
Do you mean that 4 bounty? No, that's only if you're calling to the enclave that it was supposed to go to.
Got it.
Because they're like, oh, thanks for telling us about this. They're basically paying you 1 bounty per.
Yeah, and if it's our own enclave, we might as well just call them, because that just gives us a big boost at our own
Yeah, and again, you're not selling it; you're just helping it get.
Yeah,
and then whatever merchant was going to sell it sells it.
Yeah, and what we get is we get the and we just get what supplies are off the dead takers.
Yeah, which which is 1 to 5 bounty, which is nice.
Yeah,
and potentially you get a scavenge check for both the group.
Yeah,
you get a scavenge check for the casualties that killed them, and you get a scavenge check for the vectors. Also, the fact that you have 4 rounds to deal with the slow zombies before the vectors trigger.
How many slow zombies are there?
You get to roll. I get to roll for that. So let's see. How many would have there been? There would have been 5, and they all would have been 1 shamble away from you. So they're all able to melee you. So it would have been you guys all act. You guys would have taken your actions. And then any zombies left would then attack you guys. And
yeah.
Zombies actually always hit, but how they work is this. The one number is where they hit, and the other number is how much damage they do. Because, that's how zombies work.
So a 4 and 9 would have been, oh crap, that would have been one hell of a nasty leg wound.
I think it's 4 is the damage, because I'm trying to remember which is which, because I just remember because I'm reminded of the first time I did a session of Red Markets with a group, and the group knows a casualty up in a tree, and they try to get it down to try and kill it to search it, and it fell onto the latent in the party and got a 10-10. Which thankfully had a helmet, so he could convert all the killing to shock.
Yeah.
But that still meant he went unconscious, as basically a corpse basically flying headbutted him.
Yeah. Well, also, we would have had to, unfortunately, taken out all of the people on the ground, but if we could have taken them out in 1 or 2 rounds, we'd have had more than enough time to just put bullets or stomp the heads of the other guy.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Also, this is what makes Vectors really scary, is they get a bonus to the die that you're rolling as difficulty equal to their speed. So
well, actually, don't we have 1 injection of the cure? We could have saved 1 of them.
If you can get over there, but they're also dead, to be fair. That's why they're turning.
Oh, got it. So at that point, we're just kind of walking over and just starting to put bullets. We just use the shotgun and the pistol just to put a bullet in each one of their heads, and I would have saved my last. I would have had the other guys finish it up, and I'm assuming that we
basically just would. Yeah. Well, to put it simply, it would be you and Ty walk over and shoot together to make sure it's completely destroyed. Because You'd want to
bullet
put
to the back of the head. More than enough. That destroys the brain.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just pointing out that like they're vectors. They're a bit more durable than normal person.
And actually, we would have had a very good chance of taking out all 5 of those shamblers because we got 5.
Well,
My pistol,
fair, no,
Jim
Kiri
Pan's
can attack.
rifle. Oh, okay. Well, we would have been able to take out 4 out of 5 of them, like
Decently, yeah. And
Well,
then
think about it.
the
We
one
have
would
like
have,
people with guns, my
and
shotgun, Jim Pat's
and then
rifle, and the drone.
Yeah, and then the one that was up front would have bit Ty, because Ty would have been closest because shotgun. And then I would make a secret roll to see if Ty gets infected.
and we would have basically dealt with it in one. Basically, would have had one person deal with the other one that round. Probably Ty with the shot. Probably Ty since he's dealing with it. Then I would have started running up and started curb stomping the heads. I'm assuming we can just curb stomp, or just grab a piece of metal or a weapon on the ground and start using like an axe.
You can start just firing into them. Also, since Ty's shotgun and the drone shotgun both have loud on them, I need to check what it is, but more casualties start coming in because they hear the gun sounds. That's
why we want everyone to have a suppressed pistol.
Yeah,
everyone should have a suppressed pistol in this part.
This is why I didn't want to use the shotgun unless I had absolutely no choice.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. What's it? How does it work for loud weapons?
I just know that anything I kill stays dead.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, let's see what the drone. So the drone generates 8 more zombies, 9 shambles away, and Ties generates 2 more zombies, 8 shambles away. So basically, 2 groups converge into an 11 zombie group. So you guys basically had 8 turns to basically. But here's the good news. This is one thing I like. Once you've used a loud weapon, it doesn't attract more. So Ty's drone won't attract more zombies after its initial shot because the dinner bell's already been rung. Dinner's been rung. No more zombies are going to show up. So you don't have to worry about every time Ty uses the shotgun zombies showing up. You only have to worry about one group of zombies ever showing up from it, which is important. Loop. Hello.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, that only means 11 zombies you have to deal with, and you guys got 7 turns before they get into melee. So you have plenty of time, and I think Jim Pan's got silence on his rifle, so Jim Pan can start shooting at them.
Yes.
And Seawall can basically deal with the vectors so they don't come back. So that's what Seawall's doing.
Yeah, I would have picked up any melee weapon that they had on them and used that to kill.
Yep. You'd make rolls basically to more determine if you're doing enough strength to actually shatter the bodies.
Yeah. Well, I've got a strength of 2, so I'm above average.
Yeah, so you'd roll your strength that just plain, and you just roll that, and then I'd be like, okay, it would be one of those times where there's not a red die opposing you, which is actually the fun thing. So I've got a physical copy of Red Markets, and with it, Caleb includes a red and a black die. The red die is basically the difficulty die, and the black die is, what the player is actually rolling. Hence Red Markets, because you're trying to remain in
the black, not the red. Red is bad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's one of the things that makes it. Yeah. It encourages you to be smart.
Yep. And also I'm glad that I decided to go with the suppressor instead of the extended mags starting out, because at the end of the first session I got the extended mags, so I've got the benefit of both.
Plus, it's always good to have a quiet weapon either way.
Yep. Well, eventually I will start carrying a knife with me, just so I've got something. What is the cost of a knife?
I think a knife is only one upkeep. Let me check. 280. Let's see. Oh yeah, hit locations and damage. Oh yeah.
Wear and tear. What's that?
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so yeah, the black is where you do the how much damage you do. So the zombie would have done 4 damage to the 9 that you had to the leg. Wear and tear. If you don't upkeep your gear,
it breaks permanently.
it starts to lose upgrades.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, so upgrades are breaking down, etc. In the case of an extended magazine, your magazines are breaking, so you have to buy new ones. If you don't do upkeep for a dog, it just dies because you're not feeding it. Yeah.
I'm thinking at some point just getting a combat knife just to carry that, and then eventually in storage I'll have and a rifle of some sort.
Oh, actually, that's the thing I love about pets is that pets actually let you heal stress like a dependent. They don't count as a dependent, obviously, but they let you heal stress like a dependent because they, help you deal with it. But if they die, you have to make a self-control check, or if you fail that self-control check, you immediately go to cracked because my dog's dead.
Yeah.
But if you pass, I think you only get 2 stress, which is basically
also okay. Let's say I have a rifle, but I don't take it with me on the job. It's just sitting in storage. Do I still have to pay its maintenance costs?
Yes, that's one of the things. Upkeep is oiling your gun, etc. It's doing all the standard maintenance you have to do.
Well, the thing is, with most guns, you can leave them as long as they've been oiled previously for storage. You don't have to maintain them. You can just kind of leave them in a gun safe for months or years before needing to worry about it.
Yes, but it's been 5 years since the
Got it. So they become more finicky.
Yeah, everything's a bit like with chainmail. It's if you're leaving it around, it's like okay, you're leaving a big thing of metal around.
Yeah.
Some things like the truck. What it is you're basically needing to make sure it's not rusting, etc. With a gun, it's you have to take it apart. Upkeep represents taking the time to make sure it's not breaking down.
I need to wait till I've got 7 so I can get chainmail, proper chainmail armor, and basically get the advanced alloy with the padded. The hood I can take or leave, and I'm going to wear that shit underneath everything else.
Knives. Let's see, what's the knife at? Knife. Oh yeah, there's a tomahawk. It looked. And Molotov cocktail.
I'm guessing basilisk body armor is the best body armor.
Yes. Yeah. So for reference, a knife. Yeah. Wear and tear. Basically, every time you hit with a weapon, it uses 1 charge. If you buy sturdy, which gets rid of wear and tear, weapons no longer have charges. Melee ones. You just have to pay the upkeep to keep them intact.
Got it. Understood.
You're basically, it's a good sword or a good knife.
Basically, if I were to get a sturdy knife, it's basically I've got a fucking military case.
Yeah,
it ain't breaking anytime soon as long as I do proper cleaning and sharpening.
Yeah, and a sheath is basically you got a way to hide it on your person, so you don't have to make criminality checks to hide it. Potent lets it do more damage, and weighted can be used to thrown. So you could technically get a K-bar that's been re-weighted to be thrown.
Yeah. And upgrades don't cost upkeep, which is nice.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes upgrades, really good. Yeah. And that's why, it's that basis of when do you want to get a bunch of... Also, basilisk body armor is just good.
Protects, you can get an upgrade that makes you immune to infection.
Syringes constantly test for infection and issue a freeze pulse upon detection, destroying the materials of the armor and inflicting the gas status.
So basically, you become immune to infection.
Basically, it... I forget what gas does. I'd have to look it up. Also, yeah, the lash mic is basically it's got a ubic that can only be used for calling into other people.
Got it.
Yeah, let's actually see what the gas status is. To the index.
Actually, I may want to get myself a crossbow at some point.
Yes, those are good too. Status.
Just got to get probably get a composite. Yeah, I probably want to get like a composite one that probably composite and pump action. Okay, what does clunky mean?
Clunky means you roll stealth without your stealth skill bonus.
Oh, when you're moving around with it, can't you just basically set it down or have someone else hold it if you got to do stealthy stuff?
And, you take it off basically.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, clunky is representing the fact that it's clunky.
Yeah. What does capped mean?
Capped will take me a second. Let me hop onto your sheet so I can actually look at what you're talking about.
I just pulled it up. It's basically spec shoot crossbow. Do I need a specific shoot skill for that?
Yeah, because that's the thing that makes crossbows and bows have the advantage of they have a bunch of things that they come with, but you need to. So let's go. You notice how you have shoot?
Yeah.
So below that, notice there's the 2 blank spaces.
Yeah.
You can use that for especially things like
Got it.
military grade weapons, mortars, and stuff. It's that specialty training to.
Got it. Understood. So if I would, if I were to save up, it might actually be not a half bad idea to grab a crossbow.
Yeah. Well, example being the heavy rifle has spec shooting because you need to know how to deal with the curvature of the earth because of those. That's what a heavy rifle is. It's an anti-material. It just people die.
Just out of curiosity, wouldn't an advantage of the crossbow and quiver be that you can actually recover some of the bolts?
Yeah, that's
that's one of actually its primary things is you got to make a scavenge check after every combat.
Oh, I see. RFID arrows.
Yeah.
Gives you +1 scavenge.
Yeah, it makes it easier to find them.
Got it.
So you roll your scavenge at the end of it, and if you pass, you recover. I think it's everyone except for one or all of them.
Yeah.
I'd have to double check what it is. And the scavenge +1 makes it so that you can, always scavenge them. And the best part is, if you shoot a person and they run away, it's trackable.
Nice.
Cumbersome is basically
as far as like getting a ranged weapon goes. I would look at the crossbow because mainly it's quiet.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could actually.
You're probably going to want to also save up for it and kind of get it with its upgrade, or at least a couple upgrades. Yeah.
Yeah, you could also right now grab shoot 1, or do you have shoot 1 already? You could grab the specialty with crossbow, and here we go. That's actually. Oh god, yeah. I'm trying to find gassed. Oh yeah, that's actually hilarious. Oh yeah, so Basilisk's armor is basically worthless for Kiri because it applies gas. Basically, it injects and basically does it puts a bunch of cocktails in the thing that's inside. It's basically the way to stop a person that gets infected from becoming an actually dangerous vector.
Oh.
Yep.
Basically, it's drugging the person so much, Seawall, that when they go vector, they're they're as fast as a casualty. So it's basically a way. Basilisk's body armor big uses. Oh yeah, Steve got infected. Well, let's drag Steve out. He's gag him because he can't really resist us.
Yeah, got it.
It's a way to protect your teammates by being able to drag him around.
Got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Also, actually, here's the good thing for you guys. Kiri is the least dangerous latent ever. Because when Kiri goes vectors they add to their roll. Basically, let's say you guys were fighting Kiri for whatever reason. Roll your shooting.
Wait. Ty has a drone key, correct? Yeah, that's the ground drone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a ground
shoot.
one. Yeah.
That's why you were able to carry so much haul, because it carries 4.
Yeah.
Seaball, roll a shooting. Just roll normally. Just roll 1d10 plus your shooting, which is 2.
I'm a halfway decent shot.
So Kiri, when he goes vector, adds his speed to the roll. So that's the good news, is that it's very, very easy to avoid Kiri.
Yeah, I have no athletics.
Yeah, Kiri is not very, fast. He still would have evaded you there because I rolled well, but yeah, if Kiri goes vector, he's not a big threat.
Yeah.
More dangerous than your regular zombies, but not as dangerous as your typical vector.
Actually, yeah, that's the thing, is you're not as dangerous as typical vector because typicals are 2. Actually, that's the thing. Vectors can move a number of spaces towards you guys equal to their speed.
And casualties, auto die with pretty much any attack?
Yeah, any attack that's a success auto kills them. Because that's why it's 10 charges, because that represents, the wind caused the bullet to get a bit too low, so it didn't hit the nerve cluster, or other little things like that. That's why it's 10 charges. It's all that little details that go into it. Firing off multiple shots into a group of guys behind cover. But yeah, any success kills a casualty. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what makes yeah. So the plus side is, there we go. Look at that. Shooting Kiri. Yay. So Kiri actually moves as fast as a casualty when he goes vector, which makes him actually really kind of easy to deal with.
Yep.
So actually, I want to talk about that. So the casualties were 8 paces away. So that's how many casualties move towards you at 1 pace per turn. And you guys can. You guys can't really move back, except by splitting up. You're doing things to separate the group, other little things like that. You can use that to avoid them, because spreading out, etc. You can do a little bit of that to mitigate the distance. And once casualties get within, I think it's like 4 of you, you guys can basically do athletics checks to move 1 or 2 distances away, which represents 1 or 2 of you basically running rather than shooting. So you guys can kite zombies for a bit. That's why vectors are scary, is because the vectors can move 2 or 3 or more. Kiri doesn't move very quickly, but he's also a vector, so the only way you're going to be able to put him down is either by doing enough damage to blow at his legs, so he's crawling at you, and then go over to his head and shoot, or get a headshot. Yay, headshot.
Yay.
Yep.
Yay. Now, actually, one of my favorite things is, when you're dealing with a big swarm of casualties, since they're basically all in melee with you, they're all trying to bite and grab you. How you deal damage is you still do the whole 2d10. So where do they hit is the second number, so they do 7. So 1 casualty would do 7 damage. If it's a swarm, every 2 zombies beyond the first increases the damage by 1. So let's say it was a swarm of 5. That would be 9 damage to your 6. As somebody's getting a really good chunk of your torso.
Yeah.
Rage! Broken rage! But of course, on the other side, using that 7-6 as an example, if you're shooting a normal person with your pistol, you just did 7 killing to their torso.
Which is pretty serious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty serious. And that's why, the automatic, the +1 damage is really nice. And the fact that you can spend charges to do more damage. Because you could basically be like, I just spend the rest of my charges to,
I dump multiple mags into this guy's chest.
Yeah, in that case, that would be, you spend the 1 charge, then you spend the other 9. That would be 17 damage to the torso. Since the torso can only take at max 20 kill damage, this guy's he's down. Because I'd actually have to put how kill damage works, but yeah, he's fucked unless he's got 10 kill damage, like half kill damage to a body part. It stops working and like you start fainting. Yeah, you can do some nasty things. Like, yeah.
That's when you walk up and put the bolt in the head.
Yeah, and that's actually what makes Q kind of dangerous, is because he can.
Oh, you said that with that little bit of extra that we kind of splurged on our various.
It's basically you.
I got Jeannie her favorite tea.
That's nice. Yeah. So you split that 3 bounty to buy some tea, some other stuff. Let's see. I can't wait to throw an aberrant at you guys and be like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's an Evervec. It's an Evervec, Diplo. Well, it's a vector that was from the crash 5 years ago. What
they don't stop being a vector.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the name.
Well, good thing we found that 50 cal machine gun that still has ammo sitting on top of that tank.
Every Evervec has at least a speed of 5. So he rolls a +5 against your attack rolls.
Yeah, but this is a 50 cal. We're kind of spraying and praying here.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, that's what makes them so fucking scary, is that +5. It's basically become superhumanly fast, so it can fucking dodge bullets. It's like, oh, yeah. That's what makes Evervec so fucking scary. On the plus side, they're otherwise normal vectors. Actually, I should go over. I should really just go. Actually, let me just go over all the aberrants.
So we had a very successful first session.
Yep. Actually, let me go over all the vectors. Not all the vectors, but all the aberrants, because they're these are the ones that were written into the book, because fans have made a bunch of them. Let's see, where are they? Vectors, aberrants. That's a picture of a lady on a horse dressed like a cowboy trying to pick up a baby from a bunch of casualties. Not even joking, that's an image in the book. God, I love some of the art in this book.
I'm also guessing that getting no stress is pretty rare.
Yeah, you guys got lucky. You did she was a cannibal. I'm gonna just say it. She was a cannibal.
Yeah, that's what I was fucking thinking, and I would have gone, oh wait, that's human flesh. Sorry, old lady. Bang.
To be fair, she's actually you have to actually make a first aid check to notice that it's human flesh. That's your medical knowledge.
That's our medic. We would have had a couple people go up.
Yep. Let's have the tech priest go up there and examine the meat.
Yeah. Or if you had failed the stealth check, she would have been like, "Oh, hello." She's part of Holy Commune.
The crazies.
They believe that eating each other is important, and by eating latents, or not eating latents, but eating immune, they will become immune too.
Is that kind of true or not at all?
Not at all.
That's what they believe.
You can use
all that matters.
Bone marrow plus a bunch of drugs to make the suppression agent, but that's scraping out bone marrow to make the suppression agent.
Yeah.
They are crazy, and nobody can prove them wrong because the blight again defies science. So first up, the first aberrant is the aerosol. The aerosol is generally found amongst a swarm of casualties. Stampedes of casualties. Once they get to a group of 20 or more, there's just so many of them that they actually move at 2 shambles because they're just that many. They start pushing into each other, etc. They move a bit faster, which makes them actually really scary because if they hit somebody, they knock the person down because there's so many of them. Which could mean, well, there goes Steve.
Bye, Steve. It was nice knowing you.
Aerosols are basically they have they produce blight infection around themselves in 2 shambles. Sometimes up to 3. But if they get within 2 shambles of you, you have to start making infection checks.
Goody.
Yeah, they literally just infect you. Converts are children that got infected between, very young ages. They're not quite toddlers. They're, they're those people that are, like 6 to 8. They're called converts because they are semi-intelligent. That's what makes them scary, is they can command other casualties.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm going to go find some food.
Yeah. Yeah. They can command casualties to dig holes, wait till people get closer to do ambushes, etc., which makes them super scary.
Yep.
Empties are casualties that don't attack people. They just...
I presume as the game goes on, as we get higher skilled, we're going to get better jobs, which will counteract the increase in gear that we get.
Yeah, partially. Yeah, some of that will also be you guys doing more, doing multiple jobs at once.
Out of curiosity, why do I have get a new identity scratched out, or is that because of my?
That's only for the lost because they are been declared dead by the U.S. government.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
so they need to, and the problem is the government's not really going to be like, oh no, oh yeah, sure, you're you. Then no, they're not going to. They're not going to give a shit. They're not. They're going to say no, you're dead. Then there's Evervex, as I said. They're always vectors. I'll talk about Ganglia. Mutants are basically they're the dumb one. Caleb's described them as dumb. He hasn't really used them. So when the blight hits an animal, it kills it. But if you want to be a real dickbag GM, you can include a mutant, which is an aberrant that was an animal. I mean, it doesn't really make sense with the rest of the lore. It's just a way to fuck with the party. And I don't think I would ever use them. Scarecrows, I've talked about before. They're the ones where they basically build tendrils into the ground, and the blight basically makes the casualty stand there like a scarecrow. And basically they make a field. And I roll the d10, which is basically how many paces away they can start attacking you, with basically tendrils bursting out of the ground.
Yeah.
And to kill them, you have to, shoot the various casualties in the head. And then there's one final nerve cluster in the ground, basically at the center of them all, which is basically some casualty that got buried. You go over there, shoot it, and then the entire system breaks down.
Got it. I'm guessing as long as you take out the scarecrows as you walk along, you're generally okay.
Yeah, they generally have longer range. The really not scary ones are the shuffled. The shuffled are casualties that are missing their heads. So their nerve cluster was migrated because of whatever reasons, is now in their torso or their upper arms. So you have to do the damage to their arms or their torso, and you don't know which. The thing is, shuffled basically form into groups where all the shuffled have the same weak point. So once you find it, they go back to basically being normal casualties.
Got it.
But until then, you have to actually make called shots to either the torso,
Yeah.
the left arm, or the right arm to try and find out where the nerve cluster is. Once you find it, then they just
I still love that. I still love that whole thing. I mean, obviously, the one trapped in the car, it's not getting out of the car, so I had plenty of time to walk up to it and get a perfect shot. I think you said I didn't even need a roll.
Because you didn't need to roll.
Yeah,
because you made the awareness check to know that it was actually in torpor. Had you not made that, then you would have gotten close enough, and it would have potentially made a check to try and bite you. But you would have been able.
Well, I would have been at least arm's reach away, and I've got a feeling he's seatbelted in, so he's not getting.
Potentially, yeah. That was one of the things. Like, it would have basically been I would basically like make a shooting check. If you failed it, it would basically be you realize that it's if you passed, you're like, oh yeah, it's not seatbelted in, and then it's like I pop it in the head, it's a zombie.
Yeah.
Failed it, it would have been like, oh, it looks dead, and then it would have been like, oh no, he's just in torpor. Oh fuck,
Got it.
and you didn't get the pistol out quickly.
But I noticed it was in torpor because I rolled pretty well with my awareness, so I just kind of walked up to it, put the gun right next to its head, and pulled the trigger.
Yep.
And the other one, I just love that scene of like, oh hey, hello zombie. Pulls out pistol casually, puts between eyes, pulls trigger.
Yep. Oh god, yeah. Oh yeah. Also, the fucking creepiest. Empties are creepy because they don't attack; they just kind of mimic life. Stalkers. It's that one loved person that you couldn't save from the crash, and it's just following you. They're never close enough. Just there.
And they never attack.
They don't attack. They're just there. It's really and then there's there's the malignant, which is basically the blight keeps on growing until it basically makes a blobby tumor on the ground. Malignants kind of collect together and basically form a wall of blight. Malignants are a way to add in. Well, you have to basically, burn it and then bleach the area.
So at some point, we're getting a flamethrower. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I'm saying that's how you deal with a malignant, is because they basically just kind of collect together and make, a wall of pulsating nastiness.
So it's Gortron.
No, that's the ganglia, because the malignant's all blight. It's just, a black ball that just sits there. Well, it's a black ball with bits of human on it and stuff. You can see the face of the person.
Oh, wow.
It's disturbed.
Flamethrower will always be clunky, cumbersome, and hampered. You can't make it any lighter.
But at least it can make it not explode and get some phosphorus.
Yeah. Ganglia. So ganglia are, I think, my favorite. So when multiple blight victims or multiple casualties, the blight can kind of start interconnecting them together into a corpse gestalt called the ganglia. It basically, the little tendrils that break out on the skin basically start connecting together and builds one big nervous system. And all the blight starts working together, making the body become faster, stronger, better. How it works is a ganglia can move a number of paces equal to the number of corpses in it.
Oh, Kiri, do you have a flashlight that has Everlight on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was using that to examine dark areas as we were gathering.
Because you basically delete the charges at that point.
Yep.
The only problem is it's in demand, which means I'm guessing people are more willing to steal it.
They're more willing to steal it, etc. Let's see. Let's look at the ganglia stuff. I want to look at the ganglia because I know there's actually art for the ganglia. There's multiple art for the ganglia. It's a corpse gestalt after all. Yeah, the actual art for the ganglia is it's at a old folks home, and it's not until you realize it, but you can see that the person that's recording this is upside down because the ganglias picked them up and they're dangling by their leg because you can realize, oh, that's their leg dangling there. As the ganglia is mauling at him and all his Taker crew buddies because,
Yep.
Horrific corpse just all. Yeah.
Yep. So let's see. Overview the mission. We got a vehicle, got 3 plastic that we're putting into storage that we'll try to sell later.
Yep.
We'll wait for it to spike in price, or we might find some sort of trade we can make for later,
or increase the supply and demand of it.
Yeah.
You can also do that as work action. You can always.
I think we're just gonna let it naturally get to that point because it was purely. We could have just dumped it and then put more wood on, but I thought, hey, let's just carry the plastic with us.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And this was not a convoy. This was just a couple of independent scavengers. So, yeah. And hey, we got that vehicle. We won't be able to maintain it as a group, but we should be able to, clear everything. We should be able to sell it for a decent amount. You said 5?
Yeah, it's upkeep of 5, so you can sell it for that.
Yeah,
when
potentially more.
You sell it for, what you buy it for, basically.
Got it.
Yeah.
And we are also going to attempt to kind of clean it up to get it a bit more value.
Yeah, that basically be you guys looking to see if there's any upgrades in it, because there may be some upgrades that you didn't notice.
Yeah. What is this thing? Is this just a vehicle? What is it?
It's the truck. I'd have to look up what its exact name is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love the nickname that the Ganglia has been given. The Rat King of Infected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because how it actually works is basically all the casualties are collected together and it moves super fast by literally shooting out one of the casualties in its chain and yanking itself forward. And since it's made up of at least 6 of them, basically they've collected together into a cluster of like 3, and then they have 2 more that are the arms that it shoots out, yanking it, throwing itself forward as a ball of horrific monster death. And to kill it, unlike it keeps attacking and keeps fighting at full strength until you kill all the casualties in the swarm. It's basically
what are we talking about now? Sorry, if I have to get
the aberrant, the ganglia.
Oh, okay.
Basically, mechanically, it's a swarm like other casualties. So I'd roll the distance away from you guys. It is so like this. I'd go, okay, it's 8 away, and it's made of 6.
Out of curiosity, with binoculars, if you don't use either of the upgrades, do you not use any of its charges just because you're not using the upgrades?
Yeah, it doesn't use charges unless you're using the upgrades on it.
Okay, got it. So yeah.
Okay, so as long as even if you have those, so long as you state that you aren't using them, no charges are used. Good.
Yeah, like digital zoom. Like if we really need, and there's 10 charges. The only problem is it's fragile.
Yeah. The type of car thing you had was a flatbed. You guys were using a flatbed. That was the vehicle type.
Any obvious upgrades on it?
No, that's what the Kiri's going to have to do the mechanics check next thing for, which is basically going to be important. Basically, your events next time will be troubleshooting, which will basically be whatever has happened or is happening. It may be, a raise from William, which, keeping in mind, William has a 3 in charisma, meaning he's a really good employee. So, getting rid of him is not necessarily good.
But him becoming too expensive is also a problem. He's already at 2.5 times normal rate.
No, it would. The bounty for paying a person for a job like selling units would generally be probably 1 or 2, depending on how much work it is and the actual supply and demand of it. So since this is a high demand item, something that's low demand is something slow like that's going to be a lower price. 1 or 2.
Plastic, because we have an overstuffed supply of it right now.
Yeah, nobody wants it and nobody needs it. Whereas something that's high demand like that takes a lot of haggling, which is going to be a 2 to 3.
Yep.
And then he's charging a bit extra because he's good at his job.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like it could be raise, or maybe he's not doing as much work because people aren't buying it, so a little bit less. But yeah, it's the flatbed. The other types are the motor. There's a lot of vehicle types. There's the motorcycle. That's actually what makes vehicles great, is they all have haul. The ATV has a haul of 5. So there's the thing I want to talk about with vehicles. You can potentially get basically solar panels and other things, basically a bunch of renewable energy little things to basically lower the fuel cost.
You mean lower the maintenance? You mean lower the upkeep cost?
No, it lowers the fuel. So
Oh.
I'm going to say this. So let's use the ATV as an example. The ATV has an upkeep of 3. So every run you have to spend 3 upkeep to keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for every leg of the journey, you have to spend a number of bounty equal to its fuel demand. The ATV has a fuel demand of 2. So let's say it was a leg journey of, say, 5. You'd need to spend 10 bounty to get the ATV there and back. That's a lot of bounty, 10. And so that would be, an ATV would cost a lot for a 5-leg journey. There's a bunch of things you can do. Oh yeah, you can juice up the vehicle, make it much better horsepower, which gives you a +2 to the drive check, but increases the fuel demand because it uses more. You could make it so that the vehicle can carry more, but that also increases the fuel demand. You can basically implant batteries and other things to make it so that it uses less gas, which lowers the fuel demand. Oh yeah, reliable. That's probably one of the best ones out there. It increases the upkeep cost by 2, but you don't need a mechanics check in case the vehicle breaks down to restart it. Yeah. Basically, cars and stuff cost a lot of money because gas is expensive.
And we made it even more expensive because it's one of our imports. It's got decent. Right now, it's okay demand, but not an okay supply. Yeah,
exactly. And that plays into all of it.
Yeah. So actually, if I remember right, do we lose the demand and supply knowledge from this session and next session, or does it become outdated potentially?
To answer that, the supply and demand for all the things will have a troubleshooting event happen.
Got it.
Basically, if something comes up like a 1, nothing happens.
Yeah.
Whereas, the supply doesn't change unless you guys change it.
Yeah.
Or some big event happens,
it's demand that changes.
Yeah, demand changes based on what people want. And then you guys can, affect
supply.
So
right now, food and fuel are pretty balanced with supply and demand.
Yep. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to just do the troubleshooting now to get it out of the way. Just to get it out of the way, and I'm going to make the thing actually hidden so you guys don't know, because you won't know the demand anymore. There we go. Because, you guys know what the wood is, because the wood will change, but you guys won't know what the rest is. So let's see what the events are for Jam roll 1d10. 1d10. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then we go to that's running a business. Because one of the big things is you guys can be basically funding more and more businesses. That's what being a taker is about. Is you're putting money into the economy and then it gives back to you.
Yeah, and we've got an investment of 40 with a fairly good chance of getting an additional 20 on top. Plus, we could have a couple of our guys work in the background to increase the odds.
Yep.
Like next session, I've got to sell the vehicle because that's 5 bounty that we just cannot afford. So we're going to sell it while it's still not a pump.
The worst part is the fact that if you want to use the car, it costs 4 bounty per leg that you use it for.
Yeah. And you kind of went loose and fast with us scavenging the fuel.
Yeah, I went loose and fast because I was like, There's probably some like lawnmowers and stuff and some gas that was back there, etc.
And as you said, we had just enough fuel to get there.
Yeah.
We're almost empty.
Yep. It's that's thus is the trouble and strife of a taker.
And technically that was like the second to last leg we were on, so he technically only needed like one leg.
Yep. Exactly.
So yeah. And also, and as you said, we were able to avoid the problem with the other one because we could just have one guy sitting up front in shotgun, one person drive, and then the rest of us just sitting there. And basically the pick on the back bed.
Yep, exactly.
And we have a mission to kill a motherfucker now.
Yep. And all that was just right off the top of my head. Think about something.
But my character, you guys may not like him so much when, if and when his secrets are revealed.
When it's revealed he's a steward. Because, let's be fair here.
Yeah, it turns out he lied on his resume. He's actually a kitchen cook. At best.
No, I'm actually from Navy Intel. I've been sent in by the government to assess assets. And my and Jeannie, she's MI6. The Brits were sending in a team to look into the situation. They kind of died. Jeannie's the only survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But together you'll all survive. Or die horribly. Yay! And once everybody finds out that Seawall's a government spook, it's going to be like, oh.
And not only that, my guy's loyal to the cause. That's his weak spot. He's still completely loyal.
Don't worry. I mean, I'm sure the fascistic regime will like you still. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's what
Does the fascist government of yours make the trains run on time at least? If so, oh well.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Yeah. Basically, enclaves are either. Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see. What is it for when the steward is found out? It's a self-control check for when cover is blown. Let's see what difficulty it is. Let's see. Trauma is infected. Oh yeah. There's we go. That's a good one. A level 2 trauma check is, oh my god, I may have been infected. So it's when a zombie actually gets a square bite on you that does damage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What is it? I'm trying to find the one for. Oh yeah, if your dependent dies at all because of something besides the severed result, anything bad happens to your dependent that you could have been involved in is a detachment check where even on a success you still take one detachment because you're like, oh fuck, I could have done something. Yeah, they could have died, or you murder somebody in cold blood. That's a detachment check at level 3 because that or level 4 check, allow somebody to die with allow dozens to die and not do anything.
So okay, what is the self-control check that they have to do for them finding out I'm part of the government?
It's a 3 or a 4, which means they either take 1 stress on a success or 3 on a failure. That's a level 3 check. A level 4 is 2 on a 2 on a success and 4 on a failure. It's really bad because it's like, oh fuck, It's one of those things where I'd have to actually look closer because it's probably in like the steward section on what type of check it is. It's high because it puts into doubt how much they can trust you. Are you trustworthy because you work for the government? Are you doing this? Are you going to be saving us, etc. And those are all things that are going to be questions brought up, which is why it's only stress. It's like, oh, you're not going to save us. We're still fucked. Okay. Or you are going to save us. We're not fucked. Yay!
My guy would straight up say, hey, look, I'm here to assess assets and do various missions as it comes. I'm not going to screw you guys. Not my job. But yes. Jeannie's going to be a fun little character. She's an analyst that really wants to be a field agent. But her entire team is dead now. Except for, she's now been attached to the U.S. intelligence.
Yeah.
She's probably the only Brit in this entire enclave.
Yep. Oi, love! The cavalry's here!
Is that what she said while still stuck in the parachute as my character kind of runs through with the full auto assault rifle?
Yes.
And the really good armor that I could only really use once because it's like hey, the Brits gave us a fuckload of money for you to try to save this. Here's a supply drop. Then they realized everyone but her was dead, and they're like, oh shit. Cutting our losses.
You get X1 British woman.
An analyst. My character's pretty much, Will has basically told her, look, you're doing jobs that are in the Enclave, that I am not trusting you out there in the field. Because your training is completely wrong for this. You analyze things, you don't fight.
Yep.
Had to abandon most of that gear, unfortunately. Yep. Yeah. My character doesn't do partners. He now has one.
Yep. Partners. Dun dun. Where did you get a tracer cosplay?
Who knows? Maybe we can make a mission to get it back. Who knows?
You mean an assault rifle? You mean a cache of weaponry that I dumped into water because it was clearly listed as U.S. government property?
Oh, never mind then.
That is much newer and would have completely blown the cover that there is someone here.
I mean, you could just find it and be like, "Hey, we raided a DHQS site."
Yeah, true.
At which point,
my character had to dump it somewhere because if he walked into the Enclave wearing that, he would have been noticed.
A bit, yeah.
Shiny new assault rifle.
Once my character finds out, he's going to be in the right, right? Like, let me get this straight. You had assault weapons and just dumped it in the trash? What's wrong with you?
Because I thought I could have easily just transferred them to the surviving remnants of the British team, but there was only one survivor. She couldn't do the mission on her own, and I had to pull her into my deep cover operation. And there's no way to hide that stuff. So I had to make a tactical decision.
So instead of giving this stuff to the Enclave, you threw it in the trash.
If I'd given it to the Enclave, there would have been questions because this was brand new equipment.
Say you stole it from somewhere. Jesus Christ! Or your government's stupid.
And then people would have realized that would have thought the DHQS is operating the area, which would have fucked up my mission anyway. Besides, I had orders to dump the equipment.
All right, never mind. You're forgiven. Your supervisors are dumbasses. And with that, I probably was still enough to room with that.
So I'm gonna go out and get some food. Remember, V, tonight is Flux's game.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Let me stop the recording.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if you could join us, see while I enjoy the game.
I've got to get a bite to eat. I've got to deal with food, and then I got work in the morning. So.
All right then.
But yeah. Yep. I'm hoping you guys never figure out that my character is Stuart, because that makes things a lot easier.
Then when they do, everything goes.
Yep.
Everything goes.
Yep. So hopefully I'll get a mission, and they'll, as part of the completion of the mission, send me some extra dosh.
Yeah.